What's up, everybody, and welcome to the show. This podcast episode is brought to you by IBOW Training. As you know, we talk about training pretty frequently here on the show, and the IBOW has some amazing people that they work with in their network. Are you a designer, rapper, sign maker, or beyond? If you want to invest in your creativity for the future, IBOW Training is the right choice. IBOW is the nation's first training organization to offer training in all aspects of the rap industry, from quoting, design, printing, production, and installation. They offer a variety of training options such as training at your shop, group training classes nationwide, and even private design and print profile training through remote login. With trainers nationwide, IBOW offers support day and night by phone, and many of their trainers are within a day's reach for emergencies. IBOW is growing and will continue to support the industry in a positive manner. For more information, please visit ibowtraining.com. We are also brought to you by We Print Wraps. We Print Wraps is the industry's #1 source for wholesale printed wraps. How easy is it to order wraps? Well, all you have to do is sell the job. Go to weprinwraps.com, choose your desired film for the installation, upload your design, and if you're not a designer, no problem. They can design one for you and get your wraps delivered right to your door. They offer free nationwide shipping all across the U.S. and Canada on all orders over $500. And for exclusive listeners of the All Wrapped Up podcast, you can get 5% promo code when you type in the word All Wrapped Up at checkout to save on your next order today. Less risk, no overhead, wholesale printing. See why the industry pros love them. To get more information, visit weprinwraps.com. All right, folks, we got another great episode for you today. Like a lot of us, this guest got into the industry by accident back in 2010. He's done everything from sign installation, production, to now being a full-time rap installer. Please give it up for the great and powerful Logan Moore. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to All Wrapped Up podcast. We'll be interviewing industry-leading rap companies to share tips, tricks, stories, and more. Logan, what's going on, brother?
Not a whole lot. Not today, at least. I'm not working.
Not lucky. It's Tuesday. Yeah. You want to pull. Yeah. You want to pull those days not working on a Monday. Get that long weekend.
Yeah, exactly right. I planned it wrong.
Yeah. What the fuck? But it's always nice to work for yourself. You kind of have a little vacation day every day, more or less, right?
Yeah. For the most part.
Yeah. We try to think that, but it never happens, right?
No, it's just, you're always up to something. If you're not physically doing it, you're thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. Take it home. It's always on your mind. What's going on tomorrow? Whose email did I forget to send out? Et cetera, et cetera.
Exactly. Like, did I post heat that spot? I'm pretty sure I did, but I don't fully remember if I did. I hope I did, because it's gone already.
Yeah. I don't want to get a phone call back in a day or two. Shit, fuck,
man.
Well, talking about that, man, what even though today is only Tuesday, but what'd you have going on last week?
Last week we did a little bit of a carbon wrap on a hood on a newer GMC pickup.
Nice.
Couple commercial type wraps, like a partial on a van, and some spot graphics on a pickup. Pretty light. Nothing too major going on right now.
Yeah, just a couple little half jobbers.
Yeah, little onesie twosies. Oh, I had a chrome delete too.
Nice.
So yeah, I got that all squared away. But yeah, nothing too. I don't know, nothing too major, I suppose.
Yeah. What do you like doing the most? You like doing commercial, or you like doing custom?
I don't have a whole lot of experience in the custom stuff. I'm getting into it. I've done hoods, roofs, stuff like that before. I've never done a complete color change.
I love the way you say roofs. Roofs.
Yeah.
You say it the right way, I guess, right? Roof.
Well, yeah, and that's something I wanted to bring up too, is that since I'm from Oregon, how you're saying me say Oregon is how you pronounce it.
Oregon, not Oregon.
Yeah. I've born and raised here. It's Oregon.
It's
so,
Oregon.
I don't know. People from all over say all sorts of stuff, but the real people know what's up if you're from Oregon.
There you go. That's when you know the fucking assholes are in town. Yeah, we're in Oregon. We're in Oregon.
Yeah, I was like, you're not from here, but
is that like chalk, like nails on a chalkboard type of thing for you?
It is. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, not that I'm going to judge anybody for it, but it's like,
don't lie.
Man.
Don't lie.
Right. Another Oregon thing too is that we don't go to the beach, we go to the coast.
The coast, yeah. You don't, because you don't really have beaches, right? You got to go to the coast.
No, I mean they're here and there. I mean they're not like California beaches, but if you hear someone saying that they're going down to the beach for the week and you kind of look at them funny, like, where's the beach at?
Yeah.
We have a coast.
Yeah.
We don't have a beach.
That's funny.
Which is actually, it's kind of cool. Where I'm situated at here in Albany, it's about an hour drive to get to the ocean. So
really?
Yeah, it's a cool spot where we're at, man. It's like you can drive 20 minutes and be up in the forest. You can cruise down to Bend, which is a couple hours away, and you're up in the high desert, and then an hour west and you're at the coast.
Wow.
And it's cool, man. It's a unique place to live. I love it.
That sounds really beautiful. I mean, it's more or less probably where I'm at too. You guys get a little bit of winter sprinkles too, but.
Oh yeah. Where we're at, it's just like living in Portland, man. I mean, it rains a lot. It rains a lot.
That's one thing that I hate, man, is the rain. I can't deal with the rain.
Yeah.
I guess you get used to it.
You get used to it. I mean, it's not too much of a hindrance, and it's not like it's always a complete downpour, but you kind of learn to live with it. It's not too bad.
It's an annoyance.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck. All right. Before I rudely interrupted you there about commercial or graphics. Yeah. I mean,
right.
what's your take on it?
I love the commercial work. I honestly do. It's like it's been brought up on the podcast before. It's consistent work.
Right.
A lot of times the customers aren't extremely picky. They just want to make sure it looks good and that their name is on it. And, after that, it's up to you. Yeah. And I kind of, I like that stuff. And at the same token too, the color change has me mesmerized as well, cause I love working on cars. I love taking them apart, and I love being able to change things on them in a pretty quick fashion,
Right. I love the onesie twosies, like the roof wraps, the hood wrap, trunk wrap.
Yeah.
Fucking wrapping the whole thing. I'm just, I don't know.
It's a process. Oh yeah. It's a planning process, and it's tedious, and the final product is always worth it.
It is. What's your attack? Do you start ripping shit apart, bumpers, fucking everything?
And even like me saying that I haven't done a complete color change by myself, just here and there. But when I do commercial work, I treat them like a color change. Yeah. I remove as much hardware as possible. I clean super good behind everything. I make sure all my cuts are perfect and tucked. I like taking as much stuff apart as possible.
Yeah.
And, you get in situations where you have to work around it. But for me, if it's loose, it's coming off.
Yeah. 15, 20 minute rule. You know what I mean? Whatever, however long that takes to get shit off, it's coming off. If it's not, it's staying. We're cutting around it.
Yep, exactly.
Yep, that's it. What do you like to, and I'm just going to bring this up for your sprinters, right? I always bring this up when I start talking commercial, because I always like to hear what everybody wants to do. I should be keeping tally and documenting it, but I'm not.
Right.
But what do you like to do with your sprinters? You like the cut and drop, or you like to fucking get heated in there?
No, for me, it's the cut and drop, man.
Cut and drop, yeah, man.
Every time. I mean, I guess it might kind of depend on the design and the color of the vehicle and everything, but I think if you properly execute it, a cut and drop looks clean. It looks good.
It's guaranteed not to come back.
Exactly. You have that assurance that it's stuck down and it's going to stay stuck down.
Yeah. You know what?
Yeah.
It's crazy because I've seen people cut them out and then cut them out incorrectly. Like they'll they'll cut on the pane. It's like, dude, you got a perfect shelf right there, bro. Just put your blade up against it and just run it. Like why
just rest it against there and slide it.
Yeah, why you cutting up into it, man? Why that's I mean, like your blade's likely to come out. Your fucking cut's gonna be wavy. It's you just a little bit of the tip of the blade, dude. You fucking cut it in there, and you ride that fucking line the whole way. You know?
Exactly, yeah. And it took me a few jobs to learn that, because I have tried ones where I've tried to heat it and form it in, or before I knew how to properly do a cut and drop, I would do what you'd say, try and tuck it in as far as I could, and then end up cutting on the paint. And that's a no-no. That's a big no-no.
It's a lesson,
Exactly. Yeah. And especially once you think you're all set up for your cut and you're doing good, and 6 inches into it, you wobble.
Oof.
Then what?
Yeah.
Then what?
Oh, shit, man. I've been there.
There's no fixing that. Yeah, there's no fixing that.
I've been there, coming around around that small little dip at the beginning. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just fucking trying to roll your finger into it, and then it just fucking gives you. I hate. You know what it is? I hate when you get a nice smooth cut. You're like, oh motherfucker, this is gonna be great, and then it's something. You either change the angle of the blade, or it gets fucking caught, and you start getting those jagged fucking cuts. They look like fucking mountains. Boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
And you're, dude, literally you have to stop. Don't keep going.
Exactly.
Because it screws you up the whole way. Like you're just thinking about it. Just stop right when you feel the first one.
Exactly. You're not gonna power through it.
No.
You need to stop and reassess the situation, and then go from there.
100%, dude. Because it just gets worse. Dude, I have gone through it. I have stopped halfway through. And then didn't take the blade out, and then snap a new blade, and fucking kept on going. Just jagged. It's just like never ending. Yeah. Cutting those little tips suck, man. Like there's no good way of fucking fixing that.
No, there isn't. I mean, you can try and patch it and try and cover it or do whatever you want to do, but it's not going to look right, and it's more than likely going to need to be redone.
Dude, crazy.
Yeah.
What do you do with the you ever see, I think the Nissan Envies, right? The 250s or whatnot. They have that rubber piece between the panels. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes. Yeah. It's like a window seal, or
it's like
a molding. Yeah. Like a molding kind of rubber thing.
Yeah.
Right there.
It's kind of like inside of it. I don't know what the fuck it's doing. I don't know if it's there for movement of the body or what, but it's there.
I think and it's not painted, right? Like it's still raw rubber plastic.
It's straight up rubber. Yeah, but it's recessed in a little bit. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Dude,
yeah, with those. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, what do you do, man? Because it drives me crazy when I see people just tent over it.
Oh, yeah. Because it's not going to stick to rubber.
No.
No way. No. It's going to look like shit in a week.
It's like a fucking channel. You just left the channel for water, dirt.
Exactly.
Anything to get in there.
Yeah. So what I'll do, depending, I mean, if it's a partial wrap, if it's a full wrap or whatever, I use the knifeless tape and just put the knifeless tape up towards the top of the edge of the body line. You don't want it all the way on the flat surface, because then it's going to kind of show too much.
Yeah.
But if you put your knifeless kind of just inside that curve right there,
just to catch it.
Yeah, just to catch it. I mean, just the slightest little bit, and then once everything's applied and you pull that knifeless, you step back a few feet and you can't even tell.
Fuck, dude! I didn't even think about using knifeless.
It works because, and I've tried resting my blade on that edge and trying to angle it out really far.
Can't get it.
And I can't get a consistent cut. Or if you try and angle your blade in too much, you have to shorten the length of your blade, and then that's really risky too.
Ooh, yeah.
So
you cut into the knifeless.
Yeah. So yeah, for me, on that spot, knifeless is the way to go for sure.
Good. Fuck, that's a good trick, dude. Didn't even think about using knifeless in there.
I didn't either until I started watching all those Rap Institute videos, man. It's like, why?
Gold,
I can do this whole car with no knife if I plan it out correctly.
Yeah, it's a lot of prep. It's a lot of prep. Don't get me wrong.
It is.
But is it worth it to not put a blade on it Probably.
I think so, because I don't want to have to explain to the customer why I cut their paint. You know?
Yeah. You know what works? You know what works well in that instance too is that Caesar's.
The Sasser cut.
Yes.
So yeah, I haven't tried one of those yet. I've seen them out and about, and I've seen a couple guys using them, but I haven't got one in my hands yet.
I think that tool is such a great tool to cut the gaps. You get a perfect gap because of the roller fits perfectly in that opening.
Right. It just wedges right in there. Yeah.
Yeah. You can't, it won't come out. Perfect cut every time. It's insane.
Exactly. Gives you that confidence to where you're not nervous while you're cutting.
Oh, 100%. It's a good tool for someone who's just learning that you don't give a fucking blade to. You're like, hey, you can only cut the gaps with this.
Yeah, you get the butter knife. We're going to keep the steak knives. We're going to keep the steak knives in the drawer until you get that butter knife.
Right, exactly. I love that analogy. That's awesome. You know, he's the new guy when he's whipping out the Caesar cut fucking tool.
Yeah.
Like, oh, he's the new guy. I get it.
Yeah, there you go. And even, I mean, up until probably 2 years ago, or it might have been longer than that, maybe 3 years, but, started using one of the Olfa or the NT cutter plastic knives. Oh. Up until then, I've just been using a plain old X-Acto blade.
X-Acto, wow.
And, on an empty cut, holding your blade against the edge of the body so you're not cutting on the paint. But I used one of those forever and ever. And started using the plastic knife, and that's a
game changer.
It's a no-brainer. I mean, the only thing I use an X-Acto for is for weeding vinyl on the table.
Yeah, or the precise, intricate cuts around.
Sometimes, yeah, because I've noticed, even the plastic knife, sometimes the bulk of it, I don't have as much confidence as something that's thin in my hand. I'm sure, with enough continuous practice, I could get to that point. But yeah, sometimes you need that super precise cut that's way back in a corner. Yeah. I might reach for that one. Yeah.
Or even like around the keyhole. You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah. Where you got to be able to hold your arm way up and be able to angle the blade the right angle the whole way around the circle. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what the key is that you can, almost like holding a pencil with your pointer finger, middle finger, and thumb. You can get like really close to holding that blade at the very tip and just run it right around that fucking keyhole, dude. And it's nice because you can't always get the fucking, you're holding the blade, it's in your palm, and you're trying to hold the end of it, so it's like you're really being precise about it, and it never happens the way you want it to be.
Oh, no.
No matter what. You could plan that motherfucker like I'm going to cut this nice, I'm going to hold it right, I'm going to start from the top and work my way down, and it's just, dude, you can work from left to right, right to left, up and down and right. It never cuts the way you want it.
No, and I've noticed too that the more you think about it, the more you're definitely going to screw it up. And I mean, I'm guilty of it big time because, I'll overanalyze it and think, I need to do this, I need to do that. And it's like, what I need to do is I just need to cut the damn thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to cut it.
Oh, shit.
So, and sometimes, run a finger down, set it up and put my knife on there, cut it.
Don't even think about it.
That worked nice. But yeah, if I'm looking at the angle of my blade and making sure it's all right, that's guaranteed to be a fuck up. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. I mean, it's so good to like, it's funny because I brought this up a while ago. I don't know how many podcasts back, but it was always one of those things when the music's playing in the background, your body just works. You know what I mean? You're not thinking. Your hands are doing all the fucking moving.
Exactly.
You're getting it all taut. You're getting it all tight. You got the squeegee in your hand. You're fucking ripping through it. You get your blade out. Like, when your body just does what it's supposed to do, like, that's when you're like, okay, fuck, my body's just taking over. I'm not thinking about nothing. I know what I have to do. It's just bing, bang, boom. I'm done. See you later. Like, that's a good feeling when you can just get through a car and you're like, fuck, I didn't have to overthink anything. I didn't have any problem spots. Like,
it's a good feeling.
Oh, dude, and you know what it is? It's a consistency of every day doing it.
You have to. Dude, you really have to.
I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you how many times I lost it and then got it back and then lost it again. And it's just, whew.
Yeah. Speaking of that, was working for a shop for about 5 years, and I left there back in December. I think this first part of December was my last day.
Wow.
And about 3 months after that, been kind of either trying to find a different shop to work with, thought about going out on my own and starting my own business, and just kind of playing around with a few different options, but I wasn't laying vinyl every day. I wasn't doing anything. And started working part-time for a guy in a town a little ways away, and thought it was just like riding a bike, and it's not just like riding a bike.
No.
You know, if you let your skills degrade, they will degrade. You have to keep at it, and you have to keep doing it every single day.
Right. 100% right, man.
You know, and it was an awkward feeling, because I know the proper techniques. I know how to set things up. I know how to cut right. But then when I go to do it, the squeegee in my hand is like, oh man, I gotta focus a little bit more now. It's not coming so natural as it was a few months ago.
Right. Isn't that kind of like a little scary? You're like,
oh yeah, I was worried. I was thinking back, like, man, you know, a few months ago I was just killing it left and right, slaying all this vinyl, and then now I'm having trouble figuring out this simple shit. Is there something wrong with me?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, no, I just need to get in the groove and just block everything out and just get down to it.
That's it. How do you get started on a lot of your raps? You like to go straight into with the hard shit and get that out of the way?
Sorta. I like to go do the doors first, honestly. Like, do the sides first. I'll usually do the sides, and then I'll do the back, and then if there's something on the hood, then I'll do the hood after that. The back is usually going to be the more tedious, complex stuff, depending on the design, but I like to kind of get warmed up a little bit and don't just jump straight into the heavy, hard stuff.
Yeah, especially first thing in the morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah. After slamming a cup of coffee and my hands are shaking a little bit, like, I think I'm going to save that for after lunch, because not completely feeling that one right now.
The fucking sugar levels are fucking dwindling.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, that's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I love getting into the hot stuff first thing, just so they're fucking out of the way. But
yeah,
it is nice to get, warmed up. It's like your pre-stretch. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Make sure, you're bending down, and you're not, when you stand up, your leg's not going to cramp or give out or whatever is going to happen.
Do you, I mean, you're a younger dude. You're a young dude.
I just turned 30 a couple days ago, so I'm creeping up on not being young anymore.
There you go. Happy belated birthday, man.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
That's awesome. I remember when I was 30. Almost 6 years ago. Fuck.
Yeah. And I do, I won't stretch or do anything like that before I start working, but I definitely got to get moving a little bit. I can't just jump into it like I was 18.
Yeah.
I can't do that anymore.
No, wait till you're 35, man. You can be like, whoa, like old man syndrome. Like,
oh yeah,
getting up out of bed, you're like, whoa, what was that just cracked? Like, that's weird.
Oh yeah, I'm super looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's a fun time. It's definitely a fun time. Yeah. you get to the shop in the morning, everyone's doing fucking aerobics, trying to get loose for the day.
Yeah.
Dude, it's funny. I've seen some, I don't know if it was maybe a local, maybe National Grid. Do they have National Grid over where you are? Yeah, probably.
I have no idea what that is.
It's like, National Grid's like your local kind of gas people.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Like a Cumbies or whatever you guys have over there on the East Coast.
Well, Cumbies, like the gas station Cumbies?
Yeah.
Cumberland Farms?
I suppose. I'm not sure. I've heard that come up quite a bit over there.
Yeah, that's a short for Cumberland Farms. Cumbies, that's what we call it here in B-Town.
I see.
But it's like it's like your home gas, your home provider for gas and shit like that.
I got you. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I got you. Yeah. So, I'm thinking gasoline. You're talking natural gas.
Natural gas. Yeah.
There we go.
And,
okay.
We've seen these dudes in Boston. We were rolling into Boston, and I guess this is like a part of the routine. And their union or whatever, and legit, they take 20 minutes to stretch. They all get in a fucking circle, and they fucking stretch their arms, they stretch their legs, they sit down, they do butterflies. They legit are stretching out. I thought it was the most funniest shit I've ever seen on a fucking job site ever.
Man, that's crazy because, and normally, I guess a gas company might be a bit different, but usually if you're in, kind of labor industries like that, you're kind of on your own. If you hurt yourself, everyone's saying, get your ass up. We got stuff to do, man.
Yeah.
But I wonder, they might have had a bad lawsuit or something a few years ago.
Yeah, something must have happened. You know what's crazy with those people, man? They don't like other people doing their job. Like, they get fucking freaked out. Like, don't touch my tools. Don't fucking grab anything for me. They feel like you're taking food out of their mouths. It's like, dude, relax. We're all here for the same amount of time, man.
Yep, we're all getting paid equally, we're all getting paid on our own, so.
Right.
Just take a deep breath. Man.
Oh, dude, these guys are religious. Like, my buddy's a union guy, and he's like, dude, my first day I was trying to help this guy out, and the first thing he said was, don't touch my tools. It's like, okay, so you're gonna walk all the way back over here to grab a fucking wrench when I'm already here and I can grab it for you? No, don't touch my tools.
Jeez.
Don't touch my tools. These guys
fucking
milk it, dude. Milk it. Jeez.
Where's the camaraderie, man?
Ah, dude, it's fucking cutthroat, bro. Cutthroat. I'm glad we're not. I mean, there's probably some type of union for signage, right?
There could be, possibly.
Somewhere.
Right.
I don't know where, but it's probably something somewhere. Thank God we don't have that for the rap industry. Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Don't touch
it's kind of, don't touch my squeegee, man. I'll break your fingers.
Yeah, leave that motherfucker on the floor.
Yeah, you want a squeegee, you go get one out of the drawer.
Yeah, right? Just fucking order me a new one, now. Oh, shit, dude.
Yeah, speaking of job sites, right out of high school, I ended up working for one of my dad's businesses. It was a HVAC company. And, man, working on a construction site like that, some of those guys are just bitter, angry, 24/7. I remember it was one of the first couple of days on a big job that we had. And, I was using this tool to put together sheet metal. It's basically a pneumatic hammer. Mm-hmm. I guess it's an electric hammer, extremely loud. I'm wearing earplugs while I'm doing it, and I'm putting this metal together, and I stop for a second, and I can hear someone yelling over my earplugs, and I pull my earplugs out, and the guy goes, "Hey, it's lunch. I'm trying to take a nap."
What?
I'm like, and me being 18, 19 years old and not knowing who was yelling at me because I couldn't see the guys. Like, last time I checked, we're on a job site. If you want to sleep, go home and sleep, man.
No shit. Go to your car or something.
Yeah. Like, I got work to get done. You got work to get done. Let's just be peaceful about it and we can all leave happy.
No. Old timers, man. Old timers.
Yeah. It's got to be.
Yeah. It's just the old school way of doing it, man. That's how they did it back then. And they haven't, come into like the new age, the future of things, and that's fucking hard work. Nonetheless, that's fucking hard work. I did that. Yeah. I did that shit for kind of still doing it, but like 3 years, right. Man. Carpentry, shit like that. That's tough work. I got ultimate respect for those people, like hauling in lumber and fucking carrying fucking loads of 2x4s up fucking. I don't know, 4 floors of fucking whatever. Dude, that shit's like, crazy. Yeah, some of the guys I work with, especially roofers, man. I mean, throwing bundles of shingles on their shoulders and scaling up a ladder. Those guys are fucked by 40, man. Their backs are blown out. Their fucking knees are gone.
Yep. Oh. Yeah. My dad was actually, he did roofing for 18 years.
Wow.
And, it tore him up bad. I mean, he's had surgeries. It took his toll on him, man. It's not an easy trade.
No, dude.
It's rough.
That type of trade, man, you don't make it to retire at 65. You're not fucking.
Oh no.
You're not carrying fucking, shingles up a fucking ladder, stories and stories up. No, dude.
Nope.
At that point, you hope to be a project manager, and you sit in the fucking truck and you delegate, or
exactly
a GC. You don't carry any tools. You fucking start managing people. That's the ultimate goal when you get into that shit.
That's what you got to do. And yeah, and that's what he ended up doing. They were building a new Home Depot in my hometown, and he was kind of getting towards the end of his roofing stuff and applied for a job there as one of the head people at the pro desk to help contractors get all their materials and stuff together. And he's been doing that for quite a while, probably about 10 years now.
Good for him.
To where he's still involved in the industry. He's still, all his buddies are all still around and stuff, but he's not swinging a hammer and he's not going up and down a ladder anymore. So
good. Hopefully he can regain his, life back and not get as messed up.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Most definitely.
And you can't take that shit for granted. I mean, even though we put, wraps on and shit like that, that shit's intensive. Like you can blow at your back. I screwed up my, my meniscus. I used to run at night. I was running a few miles a night, and, man, I came home one day. I was like, "Ooh, my legs really hurt today. It's fucking weird." And the next day it got worse. I'm like, "Wow, my kneecap is killing me." Ended up tearing my meniscus, man. It was like almost bone on. It was like a little couple burrs of bone on bone, dude. And if I just turned the wrong way, dude, it would put me to my knees. Like,
damn. Just drops you, yeah.
Dude, like a bitch. Like, I'd be talking to somebody and I turn the wrong way and I had to take a knee, dude. Like, dude, like sharp pains going up my leg, shooting down my foot. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. And
like, why is this happening to me?
Yeah, like what the fuck did I do? Like, I don't really do much. I used to run just to stay in shape. Now I'm afraid to run, to fuck that up again. Oh, dude, I never want to go through that pain. It was like 3 months of agony.
Yeah.
Agony,
precisely.
Dude. And you know how it is. You're going up, you're going down, you're sitting down your ass, you're squeegeeing in the bottom of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you lose, you don't know how much of your legs and your upper body and your chest you use until you start really feeling it. You know?
Exactly. Yeah. Cause I mean, once you get into a job and you're working, I mean, you're down on the ground doing something, you switch positions, you're holding your arm up and your leg up, you're doing a push up to get up off the floor. And my work style is I'm hustling.
Yeah.
So at the end of the job, I realized that all that hustling kind of put a little bit of a hurt on my body.
Oh, yeah.
Even a couple weeks ago, I think it was on that chrome delete, but I spent quite a bit of time doing the bumper and I was down either squatted or kind of been hunched over on my knees. And, on the drive home, my left leg was so weak, I was having trouble pushing in the clutch in my car.
Oh, Jesus.
The muscles and everything were so tired. It was like my leg's like shaking as I'm pushing down the clutch pedal. Like, holy shit, man. I need to take it a little bit easier, maybe.
Well, that's why I drive an automatic.
There you go.
Problem solved.
Have to consider that. Yeah, I might have to consider that coming up the next few years.
Shit, man. I loved driving stick when I was younger. Fucking not anymore. I'm good. Put it in drive and go.
Yeah, I like stop and go traffic is hell.
Oh, I believe it.
That sucks big time. But yeah, I've been an automotive enthusiast for a long time, and up until I bought my new car, it's like a manual is the only option for me. Mm. But as I get older, that manual might be turning into an automatic.
Yeah, man. See, so. Give it that 5-year gap, bro. You'll fucking you'll change your mind real fast.
I believe you, man.
Oh shit! Does your wife drive manual as well?
She does.
Oh,
she does.
Very few in between. There's not that many women that go out and learn how to drive manual, which is I think everybody should know. At the end of the day.
Oh yeah, you have to. I've read stories of people trying to steal a car and they couldn't steal it because it was a manual transmission. They couldn't figure out how to use the clutch and the shifter.
Oh my god, imagine that.
Oh
dude. You know what's funny? I saw a thing going back on that. I saw a thing a while, probably a few months ago. It was a Facebook it was like a Facebook post. A dad was trying to prank his two sons, and two sons are probably like 16, 17, right? He found this old rotary phone, and he put like a little thing over it. He's like, all right, guys, I want you to make a phone call using only what's underneath the blanket. Pulls the blanket out, and their minds were blown. They were like, what the fuck is that? Like, how do I make a phone call with that?
My grandma, she's 99 years old, and she still has, her phone's a rotary phone. She still uses a rotary phone.
Bless her soul.
Same
Holy
thing,
shit.
hanging up on the wall, nice and pretty. And, big old cord draping down to the floor. And yeah, go over to grandma's. It's a rotary all day, every day.
Wow, dude. That's amazing. But you know what? That cord, she'd take that cord. She'll walk over to her couch.
Yep.
It's long enough to go there. She'll sit on the couch and talk. And
yep.
That's how it was back then, man.
It's cool. And this, unlike a lot of our technology now, that thing's been working solid for as long as I've been alive.
Dude.
So,
Yeah, man.
It keeps working.
How many times do we have to replace cell phones and like home phones? That thing's been on there for fucking, guarantee that thing's been on there for 50 years.
Yeah, exactly. And
Never been serviced.
Nope. It just works.
It just, if it ain't broken, don't fix it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what they say?
Yep, that's what they say.
Oh man. Well, going back to old school and old times, man, how did you get into this industry? So,
kind of like a majority of the people, it happened by accident, really. I graduated high school, not a whole lot of direction with what I wanted to do. Ended up kind of getting involved with the wrong crowd, getting in trouble with the law, and was on probation and looking for a job. And I was hanging out with my buddy that owns a tattoo shop downtown, and he was leasing a space from a sign shop next door that owned the whole building. And so I'm hanging out there with my buddy, taking appointments, helping clean his equipment, do whatever he needs. And the owner of the sign shop comes over and asks me if I could build a little party wall in the tattoo side of it for some addition they were doing. And I had a little bit of construction background, and it's like, yeah, I can do that. So went and got lumber, built a little wall for him. And he goes, do you ever think about doing graphics? Like, no, not really, but how do you do it? I'm willing to learn anything, man. Teach me how to crochet, teach me how to make creme brulee, whatever. I'm down. I'm here for information. So, and at that time too, I needed a job to appease my probation officer, so I wasn't turning down anything.
Right.
So yeah, started working with him as kind of an apprentice position. He was paying me next to nothing. I mean, it was like $4.50 an hour or some ridiculous crap like that. And his reasoning behind it was that he was teaching me a trade, and he's giving me, a wealth of knowledge, and I'll compensate you for what you can do, but basically you're a student here right now. It's like, okay, I'm not in a position to say no right now. So I guess, yeah, let's just go ahead and work with that.
Getting all Mr. Miyagi on you and shit.
Yeah. But I owe everything that I know about the industry to that guy. Wow. I mean, he taught me, my first thing was trace and vector artwork. And so he showed me, how to use the programs, how to use Illustrator, how to trace artwork, how to set up jobs for print queues. And he was just a one-man show there at his shop.
Yeah.
And he did everything. He did the signs, the vehicles, screen printing, embroidery, outsourced business cards, that kind of stuff. So I kind of got versed in all the different areas of what a sign shop does while I was working there. And as soon as I started to get a hold of it, I just absolutely fell in love with it. When I was younger, was always really fascinated with computers and technology and stuff like that. And also really appreciated, like, being friends with my tattoo artist buddy, really appreciated the artistic side of a lot of things. And when you are in the sign industry, you get the best of both worlds there. It was like, so I can be technical and I can do all this technical stuff, but at the same time, I'm able to express, whatever I want to express, or help a customer or client express whatever they want to express. And that really just sealed the deal for me. I've been in love with it since day one, and it's a lifetime thing for me. I'm not going back.
Wow.
That
was what, 2000? Now
that would have been like 2000, 2010, 2009, somewhere around there.
Wow.
The color change wasn't around then.
Right.
I remember kind of a funny story where the local police department there, they would buy the black Chargers when that new body style of Chargers came out around that time, and they'd buy them all black, and then they would have the doors painted white, and then they'd bring them over to us and have us put our vinyl on it.
Right.
Well, the boss said, "Hey, there's this new vinyl that 3M's making it's like a paint vinyl." "What's that?" And he goes, "We just cover the entire door with a sheet of vinyl, and then they don't have to paint it. So then when the service life is done on that vehicle, they can peel the wraps off, and it's way easier to sell than trying to sell a black car with white doors. No one's going to buy that."
Right.
So, and yeah, looking back, we got our roll of material, and the boss and I struggled on that door forever. I mean, because the Chargers, how they have that kind of deep cutout body line on the front door there.
Yeah.
Oh man, we tried bridging it over and heating it and pushing it in. That didn't work. And then we tried to form it in. And then once we got up to the top, there's too much tension, not knowing how to work the material.
Right.
Cause we had no instruction on it. We're like, well, we're just going to kind of wing it and figure it out. And now looking back, it's like, man, put the panel up on there, pull to the corners, get your glass, palm that deep recess, cut it out, and call it a day.
Isn't it crazy now? You could just be like, yep, tent it over, fucking heat it, palm it, squeegee it, cut it, done. Back then, you'd be like sweating bullets. You're fucking 45 minutes into a door. You're getting all stressed out. It's like, shit.
Exactly. And I'm thinking, man, this stuff is expensive. If I screw it up, boss is going to be mad, and just like, it's a lot to handle. That
has been the ongoing answers as far as like when everybody had started and they got into like, the commercial end and getting in with like 3M and the V1, the all that shit. Like,
right.
There was nothing. Everybody says the same thing. Basically, you bought it and you figured it out. Like 3M gave you 0 to go by.
Exactly. I remember, and even the boss telling me is like, it's got these air release channels on it to let the air out. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Cause all I was used to working with is high performance sticker vinyl with no air egress on it. I'm like, wow, that's going to be neat, but how does it work?
Right.
How are you supposed to apply it if that's the case? But yeah, you live and learn and you get better.
That's it. It's time, dude. It was that kind of like your first hands-on experience with dealing with a wrap, so to say.
Yeah, with bigger stuff, with like a big panel of vinyl like that. Up until then, we did cut vinyl graphics all day, every day for everybody. Cut weed, mask it, stick it on. Was super comfortable with that. But yeah, having the whole 2 foot by 2 foot or 3 foot by 3 foot sheet of vinyl, that made me start shaking and sweating. I'm like, man, I know what can happen with a tiny little decal. What's going to happen with this big thing if I start going wrong? So, but that's where the material comes in, and it's a little bit more forgiving. It says, hey, you can screw it up a little bit and you'll still be all right. You just gotta kind of think about it before you do it.
Right. Yeah. You don't want to get a wrinkle and be like, oh shit, how do I get that out? And start slamming your squeegee up against it, hoping it fucking rubs out.
Yep.
It's like fucking trying to get a genie out of a bottle. Hey, if you fucking rub it hard enough, it might go away. Nope.
Like heat it and just push it real hard, and we'll call that okay.
Yeah. Or you end up on the rap police.
Exactly. Oh man, yeah, that's
woo.
That's insane, man.
Yeah, the shit that people just get away with, man, or try to get away with. It's scary, dude. It's scary.
It makes me sick. Honestly, it does. And I'm the kind of person that when I'm working on someone's vehicle, I'm treating their vehicle as if I'm working on my own car, and I treat my car like royalty. So I know bad customer service experiences I've had where I trusted someone to take care of something important of mine and they screwed it up, and I remember how I felt when that happened, and I don't want other people to feel that way.
Yeah, it's always. Customer service is always a huge thing, and how to kind of be customer centric, so to say, where you really want to please and hit all your T's, dot all your I's and everything for the client, you know what I mean? Prior to them picking up or delivery or whatnot.
Right.
And obviously, you know, the best customer service that you can provide is when there's an issue. Like that's when it counts, the customer service. You could sell it to the moon. They can spend the money. They can say yes. They can sign off. You can get the job, but it's how you react and take care of them when there's a problem. That's 100% where you need to put in your customer service into fucking high gear. Like,
exactly. Yeah. There's a picture on my Instagram of a riff rep I did on a Roush Mustang.
mm-hmm.
Started out, the customer wanted carbon fiber and used the Avery carbon on it. He loved the way it looked. I mean, it made the car look mean. He was super happy with it. And this guy was extremely meticulous about his car. I mean, he clay barred it and everything before he brought it to me. So just to make sure it was good, he pulled the antenna out himself.
Wow.
You know, he goes, I just want to make sure it's all set for you and you do your thing and then we're all good. You're a good customer, man. There's not many like you.
Fuck, I would have knocked $100 just for that.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know?
So I get the riff done for him. He takes it home and maybe like an hour and a half, 2 hours later, he calls the shop and goes, "Hey, I scratched the roof." I go, "What do you mean?" Yeah, exactly. And it's like, I thought I told you not to touch it for at least a couple days, just kind of let it chill and sit. But, yeah, I got it home and I guess he was kind of feeling it and he rubbed the back of his hand across it and his fingernail scratched the vinyl, scratched the carbon. And carbon being a multi-layer film from Avery, you can't heat that scratch out. Once it's scratched, it's scratched. It's not coming back.
What do you have, fucking broad nails, dude? What you got, fucking?
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought too. And I don't know why he did it, but he did it.
Why did he cut his? I want to know why he didn't cut his nails.
Yeah,
I don't care about the scratch. I want to know why a guy's got fucking nails that long to fucking scratch film. That's what I want to know.
Exactly.
What are you doing, those fucking talons, guy?
That's what I was kind of thinking too.
Like,
just leave it alone. It's pretty. Just let it sit and just let it be. But
you know what I thought you were gonna say? He scratched it with his watch, his bracelet.
Oh no,
something manly. Not his fucking nail, dude.
Something with his nail. I don't know. His story was kind of whatever, and I just kind of said whatever. But his main thing is that he wasn't aware that the film was going to be that sensitive to bruising and scratching, stuff like that. And he said, "Is there any way around it? Can I wax it? Can I do anything to cover it?" And I said, I mean, with a textured film like that, you can't really do that. So why don't we go for gloss black instead?" And threw that up on there for him, and he loved that more than the carbon.
Wow.
So once you have a gloss black roof on a car, I mean, on that one especially, it makes it look like it has a glass roof.
What color was the car?
It's really like a deep burgundy red.
Oh yeah, that was sharp.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, darker kind of burgundy red with a gloss black roof, and it looked clean, and he was extremely pleased with that. And I said, this one, again, be careful with it. It's vinyl, but if you scratch it, or, get some white scratching in it, there's things we can do to fix it.
Yeah.
And, ended up doing that, not charging him anything for it, not charging him time, not charging him for the material.
Wow.
Just like, hey, I guess, I could have explained the properties of the film a little bit better to you.
Or you could have cut his nails.
Or you could have cut your nails, or you could have followed my instructions when I said, don't touch it for a couple days until it kind of settles in. But yeah, he was extremely pleased, and I have no doubt in my mind that he would get a hold of me sometime in the future if he has other stuff he wants to do on that car.
That's what it's all about, man. I mean, even if you took that, right? I mean, obviously we lost money on that.
Oh yeah,
no doubt about it. But even if you said, hey, listen, I'm gonna charge you the cost of material only the cost of material, man.
Right.
Like, it is what it is, but I'm still hooking you up. I'm losing out. I still got to pay my guy to install the stuff, remove nonetheless,
right.
and install. I'll meet you halfway. Pay for the material, and we'll fucking call it even. You did a fucking solid. You did him a solid.
Yeah, he was pleased. He was pleased, and I could tell, and one of the main reasons too is I could tell he was that fellow automotive enthusiast, and even though it might not have been his fault, it might not have been my fault, he wants his car looking good,
right.
and I appreciate that, and so I'll do what I can to make that happen for you.
What are you using for squeegees and buffers to mitigate that scratchiness and shit like that?
I follow Justin Pate, like he's my religious leader. So I use the monkey strip buffers.
Nice.
I'll use the Avery red soft squeegee for stuff that needs to be a little bit more delicate. I don't really use the blue one too much every once in a while. But my main go-to is honestly the 3M gold squeegees with a monkey strip on it.
Old school.
Or a banana buffer if you're going for wet application. But I've used those for so long, I'm comfortable with them. When it comes to wrap film stuff, if I'm doing application like dike or overlays, stuff like that, masked vinyl, I'll use one of the Teflon squeegees, one of the really hard ones.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Just because I'm used to, I mean, they slide on the masking so easy, they're so precise, they last forever. I like the really hard Teflon squeegees. Stuff like that.
What Teflons are you using? You using Geek Wraps? Or are you using like?
No, they're just I think they're the Arlon Teflon squeegees.
Oh, the Arlon ones. Oh,
yeah.
Right.
Or Lidco is the company that makes them. They're in the Fellers magazine. One of our suppliers had a bunch of Arlon branded ones, but they're the same exact squeegees.
Right. Teflon's Teflon.
Yeah, it's the same thing. But yeah. When I first got one of those in my hand and felt how it slid on the masking, it's like, this is it right here, man. This is no grabbing, no nothing. It just lays it down.
Yeah, those I've noticed those Avery squeegees, you can't squeegee nothing. You gotta have a felt edge on it. You can't.
They grab.
It's like hitting the brakes. You put it on, you're like, it's like, what the
exactly.
fuck? Like,
yep.
really?
And then if you're catching any resistance, you're gonna have trouble somewhere.
Oh yeah, definitely. What other tools you got in your goodie bag? Well, I should probably ask you. You use what type of pouch you using?
I did take my Avery certification back in September, and part of signing up for that class and taking the certification is they give you their Avery tool bag.
Nice.
Or little tool belt. And so I've never worn a belt up until then. And this class was back in September. Other than that, I'd always just, squeegee in the back pocket, knife clipped in my front pocket, and I had a rolling tool cart nearby if I needed to grab something else. But yeah, use one of those with a couple magnets on it and a wrap glove, and really that's about it. I mean, my knife and the Xtremes too, the Avery Xtremes, little micro squeegees. But yeah, I like to keep it simple. I've found that if I have too many tools, I have too many options, and that slows me down.
That's good, dude.
I have a rolling tool cart from my specialty stuff when I need it, but as far as what I have on me, I try and keep it to a bare minimum because I want to be able to move around. I don't want to be standing up and have stuff fall out of my pocket or fall out of my bag. I don't want to drop stuff on the customer vehicle. So I try to keep a real minimalist mindset when I'm packing tools around.
I like that. That. I've gotten to the realization that less is more as well.
Yes.
Good squeegee, new buffer, fucking your blade, maybe a small little tuck tool, and call it a day.
Yes, what I mean? and the glove. You can't forget the glove.
Can't forget. Yeah. No glove, no love.
No, exactly. Yes, exactly.
Oh,
and
man.
and then my other reason for keeping my tool belt light is I'm a super skinny guy and I have a hard enough time keeping my pants over my ass. And so if I have something else that's weighing me down, I'm spending more time walking around the van, pulling up my shorts and my ass isn't hanging out than I am working on the vehicle. And that's frustrating for everybody.
You gotta get a good belt, man.
Yeah, I know.
I need a good belt.
I gotta get one I can just crank down.
Well, dude, it's funny. I'm a gun guy, so I like my guns. I like fucking the first thing they always tell you when you CCW is it's not about the holster or the size of the gun. It's your belt. Your belt is what holds your gun up. It doesn't fall down. It doesn't fall out. All this shit. And I was super into belts. I was like, fuck, I gotta get like a is it a 511 fucking belt? And I found this company, and ironically enough, I'm not wearing my belt today, but I found this company that makes this. It's like a webbing type of style. It's like a double webbed belt. Okay. It's very sturdy. You can in the front. There's like a it's like a locking mechanism. It's like a little tiny, like male to female, like locking mechanism in the front. I forget what they call it.
Okay.
And then one side you can snap it back down with this Velcro piece to extend it, make it bigger, make it smaller, and it just Velcros on and whatnot. And man, you can clip that belt in the front and hold that belt out in your hand, and it will be stiff, dude. Like, no movement.
I'm gonna have to look into that,
bro. I'll send you where I got it. I got it off of eBay. It was like $50. You know, at the end of the day, $50 on a belt, that's kind of steep, but
yeah,
this belt
works.
Dude, this belt works the balls. I got a nice fucking pouch from like Home Depot. You know what I mean? One of those like, I think it's like one of those Husky belts, dude.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not belts, a pouch, excuse me. And it's got the little clip on it. Dude, I'll clip that shit to my fucking belt. I almost forget it's even there. The belt's doing all the work.
Perfect.
Dude, unreal. Like, I would have never thought, like, here we are, like a gun belt would be, you know, more or less into the, you know, rap industry. Like, even though it's only holding a pouch, you know what I mean?
You never know, man. There's tools and things out there that they make great tools. They make great sign industry tools, even if they're not designed for that.
Bro, you want to hear the craziest tool I have in my pouch?
What's that?
I bought a 50-pack of these, right? So one day I was watching Mr. Albert from Florida, Albert Hatfield.
Okay.
Hatfield, I think. Excuse me if I'm butchering that, sir. He was wrapping a boat. I think it was like last summer. He was wrapping a boat. He's always wrapping boats. That's like his gig, right? Okay. And he had this weird black, like, tool. And I'm like, that's fucked up. Like, I've never seen that before. And then he's explaining his tool bag and what he has in it and his tools. He's very minimalist too, but he's got all these little tuck tools. He's like, the weirdest tool I have is this orange peeler. I'm like, fucking orange peeler? Where the, like, dude.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Dude, at the end.
The little plastic stick.
Yes. At the end, it's flat. It's like a little duck's bill on the end. And it's the perfect length and just soft enough to tuck into certain behind rubbers and shit like that. Dude, I've caught myself pulling that tool out so many times. Get a pack of them for like $12. It's like 50-pack for $12. Who cares? You know what I mean? You do one a car. Who fucking cares, you know?
Right.
Dude, awesome tool. It's crazy. And if you're feeling hungry and you want to peel your fucking orange, boom.
You got it right there. No, no hesitation.
Two for one. Why not? Why not?
Oh, yeah.
Do you...
Yeah, there's... Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, do you buy into those tuck tools and shit like that? I know you don't carry them, but...
I wanted to get a yellow tool set. I've used a couple of their wrap sticks, and I like them. But I've just been using those Avery micro squeegees, really.
Yeah.
And those, they're not too cheap. I think they're $20 for a pair of them.
Yeah, so the blue and red one, right?
Yeah. They're not cheap.
You snip the ends of them?
I do. Yeah.
Dude, I got fucked one time. I didn't know.
Leaving that point on there.
Dude, I ripped the vinyl. I was so mad. I was so mad. Speaking of that, with the Teflon squeegees, I've noticed too. If you wear them down enough, you start getting a sharp edge on the corner of your squeegee, and if you're not paying attention, you'll blow through masking or you'll blow through vinyl. Yep.
And so, you got to make sure those edges are not sharp.
Yeah. You know what? A cool way of straightening out your squeegees. You know
What's that?
You know the two ridges in the middle of the squeegee.
Oh yeah.
You know, if you rub one up against that, it kind of shaves it
Kinda
off a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of people don't know about that. Believe it or not.
Yeah, I've done that pretty frequently, and actually, what I noticed too with the Teflon squeegees, I mean, bouncing back and forth between doing sign production and working on vehicles, if you're working on a table where there might be metal shavings or anything, those little metal flakes will stick in the squeegee.
Oh yeah.
And if you are not careful with it and you are just, going at it, you're going to scratch the paint on the vehicle. And so every time before I go to do something, I always sharpen it up and make sure I have a nice clean edge on that that's free of any contaminants or anything like that.
Nothing worse than getting a little burr.
Just in case.
Yeah. You ever get a sharp burr in your fucking finger?
I don't know if I have.
Dude.
I've gotten the reflective vinyl underneath my fingernail. That sucked.
Ooh, reflective vinyl?
Yeah, there was a little scrap stuck on the floor, and I went to pick it up, just try to pull up underneath of it, and as soon as I lifted it up, it just sliced right underneath my fingernail.
Ooh.
And yeah, I won't do that again. Now let's get a scraper and pop it off the floor. I'm not picking that up with my finger.
Holy shit. That's another fucking...
Laid me open good.
Ooh, I've gotten cut on backer paper. Dude, you might as well cut my finger off.
Oh yeah, I got a story about backer paper.
Ooh, tell me. I want to hear.
Was doing an install for the sign shop in the Dalles that I was working at, which is that first shop where I was kind of apprenticing, and was doing an outside install on the window front, like storefront, and I'd pulled off the backing from I don't know, maybe like a 6-inch stripe or so, and dropped it on the ground. And when I dropped it on the ground, it coiled up like a stove coil kind of,
Mm-hmm.
So it's standing upright and was sitting next to me, and kind of doing my thing, squeegeeing and doing whatever. And I bent down, and when I knelt down, my knee landed right on top of that coil of paper, and it's cut into my knee so deep. I've never been cut by paper that deep.
Really?
And I didn't drag across it. I put my knee down right on top of it, and it gashed me bad. And the job was about a block away from the shop. And so I'm outside and my leg just starts profusely bleeding. And all I could think to do was I just grabbed a roll of paper towels and stuck it on my knee and hobbled back to the shop.
Oh my God.
Go in the front door, and the boss is on the computer working the designs. What's going on? And looks down. It's like, yeah, I cut myself. Not really sure how that happened, but it's pretty bad. I need to take a break and kind of tend to this, I think.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, it's one of those things too that when you're working, we work around sharp stuff all day, every day, and after a while, you start to not pay it any mind. Like I have a razor blade in my hand that most of the time, or that paper, the edge of it is sharp. Every once in a while, it reminds you.
Well, the paper's sharper than the razor blade half the time. That's it is like micro thin, dude, and it's that cut is just cutting your finger. Okay, boom, you cut your finger. All right, fuck the initial shock. Okay, whatever, you can get. But dude, that paper cut will haunt you for like fucking 3 days.
Exactly, yeah. And anytime I go to wipe something down with alcohol, like, oh, there's that cut.
Oh,
Found
yeah.
it again. Found it.
or even one you didn't know you had. It was like a baby one, and you fucking get drenched in that paper towel to clean that cut, and you fucking lose it, dude.
Like, oh yeah, it's like, oh man, that's smart. That hurts.
Dude, I think people take what we do, as a joke, dude. It's like, we can get hurt. Like, what the fuck? We can get really hurt. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, and even doing installs, because I've not just strictly work on vehicles. I've done a lot of, outside installations, putting signs up on buildings.
Yeah.
Digging post holes in the ground to put up freestanding signs and stuff like that. And, been in positions where I need to put vinyl up there, but there's not really a good, safe way to do it. So I'm going to just kind of hang over the edge of this and hope that it goes okay. Like on the top of a bus where you're trying to do something above the windshield right there. I don't want to stand on the cowling for the windshield or the hood. So I'll get up on top of it and hang upside down over the top of it and work upside down.
Staging.
To apply some of that stuff. Yeah.
Staging. Got to get that staging. Yeah. It's a little expensive, but it's worth it.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. It's, and that was actually kind of one of the reasons I left the shop I was working at most currently is, too many safety issues, and I just kind of got fed up with it.
Yeah. I couldn't tell you back in the day how many signs I've hung from standing on top of the roof of my pickup truck.
Oh yeah, like that ladder, like well, I can reach it. Whatever, it's good.
Oh fucking like
I don't need a ladder.
Yeah, just put the staging on the top of the roof, hang it down to the other ladder. I can walk across. I look so shady, but you know what? I'm making $1.
I'm getting it done.
That's it.
That's it. It's funny you said that. It's probably back around October sometime. I was putting a Lexan face in a marquee sign, and there wasn't really a good spot to put a ladder or anything, but there was a couple of mailboxes right there. There was like a UPS drop box and then a USPS drop box. Mm-hmm. And so like, well, I can put my steps so I can stand on this mailbox and then I can get it in there. So I, get the panel up, get set up. And as I'm sliding it in, I hear just an old lady behind me, "Excuse me, sir." And I turn around and look, and she was trying to get in the mailbox. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. Give me like 3 seconds here. I'll get out of your way. I apologize.
Oh,
it's like, it's
the things we do.
Yeah, it is. You get put in some kind of funny situations sometimes.
Bro, I hate putting in Lexan signs more than
I hate
anything.
it. I mean, I'll do it. I don't mind working on a lift.
Fuck that.
From doing the heating and cooling stuff, I kind of used to have a fear of heights, but after doing that for so long, pretty well got over it. But yeah, I don't like doing those Lexan faces. The worst is when, one, you're doing it by yourself and you're trying to slide in, like an 4x8.
Yeah,
Lexan.
like an 8.
And I mean, you're standing on the lift and you're trying to pick it, and it flexes down. You're going, holy shit, and try and pick it up. And then once you have it slid in most of the way in the sign, it's not going to go on the other side.
Yeah.
It's not going to fully go in that last channel unless you babe it in. And it's like, I've done the hitting
the fucking panel, trying to jump it in it.
Yep. Trying to jiggle it, trying to do all that stuff. What I found works good for that is, the suction cups, the big suction cups that the guys use to hold glass. They got the little vacuum pump switch in them. And you can stick one of those to the sign. And sometimes if you can't reach it with your arm, you can even get a yardstick or something and put it behind that suction cup just to kind of wiggle it in. And this is all I've ever done is really work by myself. And so you kind of have to improvise and figure it out.
Oh, dude.
But yeah, I've been in those situations doing those installs in the dead of winter, and you're getting snowed on, rained on, and you're just like, God damn it, won't you just go in the hole so I can go home?
Dude.
I know it's the right size because I measured it 10 times.
Well, the thing is, you kind of overcompensate the situation because you have a ladder. Okay, you're up against a building, you have a ladder. Now you got to think, okay, you're what? You're probably what, 5'9", 10, 6 feet?
Yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah.
Okay, we're about the same build. So you're up on the ladder. You got this 8-foot piece of Lexan, which is not fucking light.
It's not light. No.
It's heavy, all right? So you're sitting there, right? And you're trying to you're holding the thing out. You got it angled down. Your right arm's killing you because you're holding it straight. You're trying to get it in the fucking channel. And now you're basically on the top of the ladder, more or less at the very top. And you're fucking hanging.
Oh, yeah.
You're hanging back because you need to, that box has got to be at least, 8 to 10 inches off the building, and you're hanging back. You're trying to fucking shove this fucking thing in there, and it's all, dude, you get a good gust of wind. You're fucking, you and that sign.
For.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're gaining wings at that point. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh, fuck,
dude. The Lexan faces, probably out of all the sign stuff, I love laying Lexan. It's fun to lay the vinyl on it, but as far as putting it in, yeah. And then on top of that, when you're on that ladder and you're struggling with it and everything, you also got to keep in mind, I have Grafx on the front of this and I can't scratch it.
You know what I'm thinking about? You know what I'm thinking about? How stupid do I look to everybody else by my fucking self, fucking like an asshole, struggling with this guy? You know what I mean? It's like, okay, what is this guy? Fucking work by himself? He couldn't have someone else come and help him? A friend?
Exactly.
Fucking something?
I've had that before. Well, I've done a few of them, where they're downtown places. It's pretty populated. There's people walking around and I'm struggling with something. I look around and there's 3 or 4 people just standing there watching me do it.
bro.
Like, yeah, I'm like, this is what I do. If you want to help here, you can come up here and give me a hand, but
the fucking best thing I ever did was take that fucking service right off of my list. Oh my God, man.
No exterior installs. I'll make the sign for you. You can pick it up.
Yeah.
Whatever you do with it from there that's your own deal.
It's fucking yours, dude. I'll make it for you, but you put it up.
That and not only the difficulty of having to deal with an install if you're doing it by yourself, but having to go through the permit process with the city
fucking
and
miserable.
having to deal with, I hate pulling permits for stuff like that because every city is different. Every county is different. There's so many different regulations. If you're digging holes, you got to clear it with the utility companies. And it's just
too many fucking chiefs, not enough Indians. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the fucking problem.
Yeah. The different businesses I worked for, a lot of times I went out and installed it because that was, at the time I didn't mind doing it. But it's, somewhere along the line, my boss would say, hey, maybe we should just have a general contractor go put this up.
Yeah,
I'm like,
idea.
it's not rocket science. It's a square object and it needs to be up on that building and it needs to be attached safely. Go right ahead. Go for it.
But you know what it is? It's the tools, the equipment you fucking need.
Yes.
You fucking need drill bits. You need fucking anchors. You need a hammer drill. Like, what the fuck? Like, honestly.
Exactly.
Dude, a hammer drill ain't light either. You're sitting there over your head trying to fucking put in a half an inch fucking hole in the side of his brick fucking building, and you're hoping the brick fucking holds up, because if you fucking snap it, that's it. Fucking drill another hole. Dude, that's fucking asshole work.
It is.
Props to whoever's still doing that and still have that as your service, because you either have to have it because that's a little bit more bulky of business than the commercial end of it for vehicles or whatnot. But, whew, dude. That is,
it's a headache, man. It really is.
A headache, yeah.
And it pays the bills. Yeah, it's work. But if I had my choice to do it, the answer would be probably not.
Probably not. Yeah.
Probably not.
And you always think like, all right, you know what? The next one's going to be better. The next one's going to be better.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. That one sucked, but this one should be all right.
Bullshit. It's going to be the same, if not worse.
Exactly. And and even, and thinking back, even just, I think around the same time, probably October, November here, same thing, up on a lift, putting Lexan panels in. And I was struggling with this one I was holding it up, trying to jiggle it in for probably a good 2.5, 3 minutes, to where my arms were numb. I was having big time trouble. And I ended up having to bring the sign back down, set it down on the ground.
Oh, take a breather.
Take a breather, look at it. I get my tape out and I measure it and I'm like, this fits in there. The channels are clean. What is the deal, man? And it's just, whew. And on top of that, you don't know whoever built that box. Is the box square? Hopefully it's square.
Hopefully it ain't racked.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Hopefully.
Oh, I think the worst job, I think the straw that broke the camel's back for me was a job I did in Boston in the North End for probably one of my biggest clients I had at the time. He basically ran the North End.
Okay.
Ton of restaurants. This guy, multi-billionaire. He owns a nice beach cabana fucking club place in Boston. Like, this guy's got fucking dough, right?
Wow.
Renovated this pizza joint, wanted the fucking name of the business 5 times around this building. Excuse me. Let me have a sip of my coffee.
Yeah.
It's bringing back memories. I'm starting to have a little PTSD about it.
Yeah, exactly. Get some anxiety.
I think that's what's happening. I'm getting choked up right now. So, okay, he wants the name of the restaurant, 5 times around this building. 3 copies on the front of the building and 2 more copies on the other side. Don't ask me why, but that's what he wanted. So it was Gemini. I got Gemini custom.
Okay.
Like chrome letters with LED soft white behind it, right?
Okay, so like the formed plastic.
No,
letters.
they were metal. They were like metal letters, legit.
Okay.
But they were hollow in the insides with the LEDs and the balusters and all that bullshit. Not the balusters, the transformers for the inside and shit like that.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, cool. You're doing construction. You know what's behind this wall out here? He's like, yeah, you'll be fine. Drill a hole, throw your leads through it for the wires, and I'll have my electrician, tie them in however they need to be tied in to work on a switch. I'm like, all right, cool. This should be no problem. It's like a fucking $5,000 job.
Yeah, you're like, yes sir, no sir, I'll get it done for you.
Yeah, dude, it's great. No, it actually was more than that. It had to have been more, maybe like 7,000, because the type of style letter he wanted, and it had to be a certain size and all this bullshit. But Gemini was great because they leave a lot of margin for you to make a lot of money off these things. Like it's it's a fucking great.
There's money in it.
Oh my god, unbelievable money. So I was making out like a band. I'm like, fucking yes, I scored this month, right? So I get there. He's getting ready to open. We're about a week out. So I'm like, cool, I'll order them. It's going to take a couple weeks. We'll get them in, get a deposit, all that good stuff. So I start drilling, right? And I probably I probably got like a 12-inch bit on it, more or less, because I don't know what the hell I'm hitting back there. But he said I'm good, right? What's the worst case scenario that could happen? I have to go through another piece of wood, whatever, or an LVL support or something like that. All right,
yeah, it
cool.
should still hold.
Yeah, if anything, I'll go through maybe 4 or 5 inches. So
yeah,
I get the templates up. Templates take me all fucking morning. Lay them out. I gotta have the spacing done. All this bullshit. Good. I'm in there. Start marking the holes. Boom, 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 boom. Okay. Fucking that afternoon, come back. All right, I'm drilling out the holes. I'd probably get fucking 6 inches in, dude, and I'm hearing took, like hard, like I'm hitting something, not wood, is what I'm not hitting.
That's not good.
Not good at all, dude. I fucking was hitting a steel beam.
Oh shit!
And there was no void between from where I was on the outside and where that was on the inside. It was literally up against the face. So I'm like, dude, okay, I might be able to get the letters in because it's like a 4-inch stud that goes in. You silicone them, you stick them on.
Yeah.
It dries good. But how the fuck am I going to get the leads inside? Each letter has its own lead. Like, dude, what was the name of the place? What was it called? It was called... Oh, I couldn't fucking tell you, but there were a lot of letters, okay? Even if there was fucking 2 letters, there's 10 leads, I'm not getting through the beam, period. Like, I don't have the machinery to do this, right? So I tell him, hey, what the fuck, man? I'm screwed. I'm a little guy. I don't have anything to go through that. He goes, oh, don't worry. I'll get a guy to come out and do it. He's got a fucking special bit. Bro, tell me how this guy, right, comes out with the bit, and on every bit, he didn't break every bit, but he wore every single hole he drilled, wore out 1 bit.
New bit, yep.
Bro.
When you're drilling hard steel like that, it's no joke.
The bits were $30-something a piece. Bro, tell me at the end of the job, this motherfucker was like, hey, it cost me $1,500 to have the holes drilled out, so you're gonna have to take that off your bill. I'm like, what are you, fucking crazy?
It's $1,500.
Are you fucking crazy, dude? That wasn't my fault. In the contract it says, I am not responsible for any additional bullshit. Like,
exactly.
I am
we agreed on this.
Yeah, dude, he didn't pay me for like 6 months. 6 months, dude.
Oh my god.
That was a straw that broke my camel's back, bro. That was when I left. Yeah,
I'm done.
I left that job and I'm like, I am never doing this ever again. And then when I went back after the holes were drilled, we ended up getting some type of fucking snowstorm, and I'm hanging fucking leads inside the building. I'm fucking trying to put silicone on these things and hoping to God they fucking dry. I'm walking away from this job not giving a fuck.
Yeah, it's like it's done and done. We're going home.
Oh, dude, I was done when I hit the beam.
Exactly.
I already said goodbye to fucking any profit I was making after I hit that beam. That was done.
At that point, you're paying the customer to do the job for him.
Dude, no. I told myself I will never be put up against a wall ever again for something so stupid like that. Right. Ever again.
Agreed.
That was the end of it.
Yes. Speaking of that, and going along with bad installs, kind of the straw that broke the camel's back for me at the last shop I was at is had a job to go install a freestanding sign. Simple, just 2 4x4 pressure treated posts, dado 2x4s on top and bottom for a 4x8 Corex sign, just like a commercial sales sign. I went out and surveyed the location, marked where I wanted to put my holes, called in for the call before you dig utilities and everything. And customer was, really wanting to sign up. And, we're trying to explain to them, hey, we need to hear back from these utilities to make sure this is all savvy before I go digging holes out there. I don't know what's in the ground.
Right.
And my boss had asked me if I thought there was any utilities in the area. And it's like, well, it's underground, so I have no idea. Said the only thing that I see nearby is there's an irrigation spigot that's a little ways away. So I'm assuming there's some irrigation lines here. Beyond that, I don't really know. So all the other utilities came back clear, all the gas, power, everything, but we hadn't heard back from the city for the water lines yet. Boss instructing me to go out and go ahead and dig the holes. And I said, hey, we haven't heard back from the city yet. Probably not a good idea. And they said, whatever happens, go ahead and do it anyway. This guy is breathing down my neck. We need to get this done. Like, okay, whatever, I'll do it. So get out there, get set up, get most of the way down my first hole and crunch with a post hole digger. And it's like, motherfucker, I knew it. And I pulled my post hole digger out there and I can see white PVC in the bottom of the hole. It's like, yep, just what I said was going to happen happened. Luckily, it wasn't pressurized at the time. The water had been shut off.
Thank God.
Exactly. And my blood started to boil right then. It's like, you know what? I told you this was going to happen. I put my personal safety at risk because you wanted to get your sign put up. And now look what happened.
Right.
I could have lost an eye. Things could have been really bad. And so I called back to the shop pretty pissed off. Told the boss, hey, I just hit a water line. So that happened. I told you it was going to happen. It did happen. So yeah. What do you want to do about that? And she goes, well, what do you think you should do? And I said, I think I should come back to the shop and I should wait to hear back from the city before I go digging holes where I don't know what's in the ground. And she goes, well, if the pipe's running one way, couldn't you just scoot the holes back a little ways and just dig holes there? It's like, I could, but I'm not gonna. This is and it's hard because I'm talking to my boss, my supervisor, and I'm really trying to bite my tongue and not just call him out on being completely ignorant.
Right.
And it's like, I'm really trying to keep my cool here, but you put me in a bad situation and that's not cool with me. And, ended up, and then she asked what we should do about fixing the hole. And I said, I'm not a plumber. I don't know. Why don't you go and find someone to fix it? And they didn't want to hire anybody to fix it. And so I ended up fixing the pipe myself, which I don't feel good about, but that whole situation right there kind of made me realize these guys aren't looking out for me. They're looking at me as a dollar figure and they're buying new Escalades and they're taking vacations to, Hawaii every other month. So I think I'm going to go ahead and just put in my notice now. Cause this ain't working for me anymore.
Yeah. I mean, you can't be the guinea pig. You can't be that person that, gets put in a situation and then you're stuck there with, your tool in your hand. You know what I mean? And looking at everybody like, what do I do? You know what I mean? You kind of just sweep it underneath the rug and fucking walk away like nothing happened. Like, what do you do? You can't work like that. You can't be like that.
No, and my work ethic and everything is if a job needs to be done, I'll get it done. If I may run into some bad situations now and again, but I'll put my head down and I'll push through it and I'll get it done. But after that happens, like, I think I'm gonna watch out for me just a little bit more, because I'm the only one watching out for me. Nobody else is watching out for me.
Right.
So, yeah, that was the career ender at that shop there.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah.
Running around. I mean, you're more or less a mobile installer. What was the deciding factor for you not to kind of pursue that for yourself and just be a sub to other shops and work for yourself, as opposed to coming in and being an employee of a shop?
What's the deciding factor for me?
Yeah, like what made you kind of not go with hey, maybe I'll just start my own thing and just be a sub and work for a bunch of companies? And
yeah, the main thing with that would be my daughter and my wife, honestly. I have a 1.5-year-old daughter.
Congrats.
And my wife is, thank you. And I love them both to death. And, once I left that company back in December, first thing on my mind was, I'm opening up my own shop this time, because now I have the experience under my belt. I'm in good with all the distributors. I know a lot of customers, people in the area. They know me personally by my name. They don't know the shop that I work for.
Right.
Why don't I give this a shot and give it a go? So I ended up taking some small business courses through the community college. And as I kind of started working through a business plan and getting funding together and everything, I realized, like, if I do this, I'm not going to be able to spend as much time with my daughter as I want to. I'm not going to be able to, I'm going to be putting my full effort into this business to make sure it succeeds. But if I do that, I'm going to be neglecting other areas of my life. And at this point in my life, it wasn't worth it. I mean, we're not scrapping for money. My wife, works in the medical field. So she actually ends up bringing in most of the income for the household. And, like Justin says, you don't have to hit a home run every time.
Right.
So that was kind of the deciding factor for me. Further down the road, I wouldn't mind doing, either having a small storefront or just working from home and being a mobile installer and contracting out work to companies. I'd be cool with that. But yeah, my situation now kind of dictates that, I need to be working underneath of another shop for the time being.
I like that, dude. I like that. I did the exact opposite, to be quite honest with you. I really did, dude. I had no thought of being a business owner, but decided, you know what, if this is the career I'm going to take, and I better just, if I want to, I think the misconception that I had was, and this is me being ignorant, was, hey, if I work for myself, I can take whatever days I want off if I need to do something. It actually made it worse. I couldn't take days off. I couldn't screw out of a job halfway through it to go do something. Like, I needed to get the work done. Like, that was that. And I fell into a trap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yes.
Maybe it was just me not getting enough experience underneath my belt with other shops. I was only like legit, maybe got into industry 2005 and then started my own shop late 2006, maybe 2007.
All right.
You know what I mean? So like working for myself from home, all of a sudden a couple of years rolled down, another 2 years. So 2008, 2009, opened up my first storefront. And my daughter was born in 2006, so you figure she's about, 2-3 years old.
Yeah.
At the same time, I actually was in the same scenario. Ex-wife was bread holder, had a great job in Boston and all this good stuff. So I was able to provide a little extra in the meantime, but I was building something. So it was nice. The rent was cheap and all that stuff, but then she lost her job, so we relied more on my business, focused more on my business, screwed the fuck out of it. And, dude, it's just, I couldn't get away from it. Literally, it consumed me from 2007 2008 till late 2015, early 2016, give or take, when I got divorced. Jeez. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
basically 10 odd years, 11 odd years, working for myself day in and day out, working Saturdays, providing. I thought that's what I needed to do. And in hindsight, I lost time with my kids. I watched them grow up and hardly watched them grow up. And at the same time, you know what I mean? Missed out on a couple things, and it sucks.
Yeah. And I hear you, man. And it's, if I were single with no kids, hell yeah, I already got the credit. Let's do it.
Right.
I got a location. Let's open up a shop, because I think you and I are pretty similar in the fact that we're so passionate about this industry. If it was just you doing it,
it would have been a different ball game. Right.
Yeah, it wouldn't. I mean, yeah, it's still work. Yeah, you're still working late nights, but you're doing what you love. It's like a hobby.
Right.
And you get to make money while you're doing it. And for me, yeah, if I was a single guy with no real major responsibilities, hell yeah, I would be doing that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
But my position now as a husband, as a father, that priority comes before me trying to make a superstar out of myself. And I'm perfectly cool with that. So
yeah, that's good, dude. That's good. Yeah. I wish I would have had someone giving me that advice back then. You know what I mean? I think things would have been a lot different.
Right.
Moving forward. But at the same time, who knows what would have happened if I was, single at the time, no responsibilities, what I would have even thought of, I'm going to own my own business. What fun in that would have, like, what would I have gotten out of that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it's,
I think it's more of a pride. I think it's more of a pride thing for me, where I could be like, you know what? I'm the provider. This is what I do. I'm going to put my, heart, sweat, and tears into this to maybe make out later on, where I can take vacations and not have to worry about it, have employees and not have to worry about work. And
exactly,
that's the goal, dude. I mean, nobody wants to be, at the end of the day, I would hope that nobody wants to be a fucking one-man shop or one-woman shop to just work and not have time for yourself. And that's a miserable way to work. Like, you have to have a better goal than just that.
Exactly. I mean, and for me, I love working. I love going home tired at the end of the day, feeling weak, knowing that I got a lot of shit done. But I also like to come home and see my wife. I also like to go to the park with my daughter.
Right.
And my opinion, you get so much more joy out of that than you are going to be stacking up digits in your bank account.
100%.
And that's, and the way I look at it now is, as long as I make enough money to get by and keep everybody happy, I'm cool with that.
Smart man right there, man.
Yeah. I'm not out to make $1 million. I'm just out to be happy and try and help people be happy along the way.
Whew. I watch too many podcasts. That's the problem. Too much Andy,
the motivational.
Yeah, too much fucking Andy Friselis, too much fucking Ed Milet, too much fucking Gary V. Get out there and hustle.
Is that? Yeah, actually, that was the one that Joe Rogan recommended, right?
Yeah.
That guy?
What, Gary V?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. He's always running, doing push-ups and stuff, and it's like, you got to get your shit together. Stop being a pussy. Yada yada. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool. I watch that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, I need to get out there. I need to tear it up. But you know what? I need to take care of myself too. I need to take care of my family.
Yeah, I need to slow down. I need to have a cup of coffee. I need to fucking relax. Like,
yeah,
I'm the total opposite of what they're trying to say now. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And and that R word, that's a hard thing for me to do. I mean, my personality is I'm always grinding. I'm always trying to learn. I'm trying to seek new information. I need stimulation, and it's hard for me to relax. It really is. But once you have a little one running around, they kind of wrangle you into stopping to smell the roses in your life.
Oh hell yeah, dude! It's a whole different feeling you have. It's not about you, and it's not just you now. It's about this life you have that you've created, and you have to take care of it and nurture it and feed it and and just everything, dude. It's just amazing. And especially having a little girl, being a dad.
Yeah.
Having a little girl, dude, there's no other way to have it, you know. Having a boy is cool because you can rough house and stuff. But dude, I rough house with my little one. She beats the shit out of my 12-year-old.
They're tough.
Yeah,
they're
dude.
tough, man.
They don't care, man. They're crazy. Sometimes they act like boys. I'm like, hey, what's going on? Am I raising boys or am I raising girls? What's going on? I mean, I mean, they don't have dolls and shit. By all means, they don't have dolls, but like, you know, they have scooters, they have freaking skateboards. I love taking them to the park, and my oldest one loves the longboard, so I got her like I got her like a longboard. We put new wheels on it, changed the trucks and all that shit on it, and she's like super excited. She loves fucking just bombing down at the park with it, and my little one's just fucking chasing her with the scooter, and they eat shit. They fucking get up. They brush themselves off. They get back on. I'm like, that a girl.
Exactly. Get them away from the electronic devices and iPads and iPhones, and get them out there doing something physical.
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. They have iPads. They fucking get stuck with them in the morning times, and it's hard to rip them away. But I'm delegating. You know, you've only got a couple hours throughout the day. You know, you sign in, you sign out type of thing. Like you guys can't be on this fucking, I get it because dude, there is a ton of people out there making money off YouTube videos, technology, shows, like.
There is, and it's weird being the age I am and seeing that.
Yes. Like,
you know, cause I'm still,
dude, Tanner Fox.
I'm stuck in the mindset. Oh yeah, loaded.
Like, come on, dude.
Loaded.
It's like what, 20 years old, 19 years old?
Yeah. It's like, you got to be kidding me.
Makes me sick, man.
And that's kind of one of the reasons I really believe in learning. Not necessarily learning a trade, but learn something or do something that can't be taken away from you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so what happens when YouTube closes?
Right.
What happens to all those guys, you know? Yeah, there's other sites and everything like that, but, you know, you polish your craft and do something that somebody can't take away from you.
Yeah, what happens to monetizing? If monetizing goes away, you make no money.
Exactly.
All that shit's gone. Yeah, you need the trades area is dwindling. Nobody wants our era, so to say. Well, I wouldn't consider myself a millennial, but
right.
But you know, the end of my era, you know, I graduated high school in 2003. So
okay.
So, you know, I'm not that old, but I think everything behind me moving forward, the millennials then are just super like gimme. I don't want to fucking work. Yeah. Just like
it's almost kind of a sense of entitlement, but it's that we're in the age of instant gratification.
Yes.
You press a button, it shows up on your door. You need something, hey, it's already there.
Yeah.
But the way I grew up is you want something, you get up off your ass and you work for it. And then once you work for it, you realize how much time and effort you put into that, and you're going to treat whatever you got a hell of a lot better, and you're going to appreciate it a lot more.
What was your first job you ever had? And what age were you at?
Okay, this is kind of crazy. So right out of high school, I actually skipped a grade. I skipped 7th grade.
What?
Went from 6th to 8th. Yeah, I was the smart kid in school.
Wow.
Which kind of set me up for failure a little bit. I want to say.
Why?
Because
why do you think that?
From a young age, I was always getting praise. You know, oh, you're so smart. Oh, you can do anything. Oh, Logan can figure it out. Oh, Logan can do it. He's smart. And kind of got this egotistical mindset that I'm smarter than everybody because everybody says I am. So, you know, and it ended up getting me in trouble. You know, I think the ego part of your brain develops a little faster than the logic part of your brain when you're younger. And, so yeah, right out of high school, I was 17, and my mom worked for an organic bulk food distributor. Mm-hmm. So it was a big warehouse where they keep all this organic stuff and they ship it out. Well, I got a job working up there, pulling orders And how they did it was you pulled orders on rollerblades in the warehouse.
Wow.
So it's all smooth concrete floors around there, and you're on rollerblades with a box with a list, cruising around the warehouse, pulling items off the shelf, putting it in there. Which, if you're on the first floor, that's cool. But there's also a second floor above you. So you have the option of either trying to go upstairs with rollerblades on,
Shit.
which isn't the easiest thing, or you get to climb the ladder that's in the center of the warehouse with rollerblades on to get to upstairs.
Christ. And that wasn't fucking, nobody was like, hey, listen, this is not approved.
Yeah, I don't think OSHA made very many stops there.
Yeah, you think?
I don't think so.
Holy shit.
That was my first like real job, I guess. I mean, I worked at a fast food place while I was still in high school. Again, my parents didn't buy me anything. If I wanted a phone, if I wanted a car, I had to earn it. So I ended up my whole senior year of high school, I was working pretty much full time after school and still going to school also. But yeah, I did the warehouse thing. And then after that, I started doing the heating and air conditioning for a couple of years. Then after that is when I got into the sign industry.
Damn.
After that, that kind of done a few different things.
There you go.
Yeah, and actually, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, so you've been working for a while.
Yeah. And actually I had this job, lived up by Seattle for about a year, and I ended up getting a job with Fluke Corporation. They're the ones who make multimeters and like high-end test equipment and stuff.
Really?
And it's I got the job through a temp agency, but I was part of a maintenance department where basically all of their production areas, they're all built on these little it's called beeline. It's like angle iron. It's like slotted angle iron. Mm-hmm. And there's all these different stations and carts that are built up specifically to whatever that person needs to assemble at that station. Wow. And so my job, and it was a huge place. It's right next to Boeing in Everett, Washington. It's a huge complex. Shit. I mean, big. My first day at work, they gave me a map so I didn't get lost in the building. I had a paper map to carry around me so I didn't get lost.
They knew you were the new guy.
Oh yeah. They're like, here, trust me, you're going to need this. That way's north.
Holy shit.
This is how it works. But my responsibility there was to maintain stations that were broken. And also I would get emails and fax orders of schematics to build new stations, new production stations. So I think I was 19 when I was doing that. 19, 20, somewhere around there. But still kind of doing, manual construction stuff, but working by myself, taking all these orders in. And then on top of that, you're working with engineers. And so they're way up there, trying to overcomplicate stuff.
Oh yeah, always.
That was a pretty crazy job.
How it works with them engineers, always over engineering everything.
Yeah. It's like all you need, they're like, we could do this, we could do rollers, we could do that. And like all you need is a piece of wood so it can slide. You don't need any of that crap.
Yeah, right? Oh my God.
Yeah, that was a cool experience. It was fun.
That's cool for Boeing. So my fun fact, my mom's work actually produces the adhesives that they put in the Boeing planes. Like,
oh, okay.
The adhesives they use for the panels on the planes and shit.
Right, yeah.
The company right here in Peabody is the largest, if not the oldest, manufacturer of adhesives and glue products in the world. I think
wow.
I don't quote me on this, but I want to say something to do with Elmer's glue had something to do coming out of this joint.
Oh, okay.
Which is like, I mean, we all knew about Elmer's glue back in kindergarten when you used to sniff the bottles and get fucking jacked up at 3 years old. Yeah. Stick your finger in it. Hey, what's this? She works there, which is kind of cool because it's kind of got something to do with adhesives and vinyls and shit like that and packaging and whatnot. But it's kind of neat. I remember when I was, maybe 13, 14, man, I used to to sweep the floors of my cousin's body shop, and I used to get paid like a couple bucks a bumper to rip off and put back on and shit like that. So
I see.
yeah, I think that's where I fell in love with the car stuff, watching all these cars come in and out and get, painted and waxed and buffed and all this crazy shit. And I used to spend it all at fucking Dunkin' Donuts across the street all the time, dude. All the time.
I'm getting the most expensive coffee, most expensive whatever there is.
Yeah, a couple donuts, I was 13, 14, so I was only getting like hot chocolates and shit with fucking marshmallows in them and like being an asshole. If I had saved all that money I fucking spent, man, whew, I'd be a fucking millionaire. Better off. Yeah.
Right.
Fuck yeah, I would be, man.
Yeah, and mentioned working in a shop too. I think that's kind of where a lot of my love for the automotive industry started too. Is my stepdad growing up was a self-employed mechanic.
Wow.
That worked out of the shop at home. We had moved into a house that had a detached 2-stall garage, and he ran his business out of there. Just no advertising, all word of mouth in the community, and he was always busy.
Wow.
But I'd get home from school, and instead of sitting down and watching TV or turn on the Xbox, I'd be out in the shop helping stepdad with whatever he needed help with. Whether it was cleaning parts, whether it was holding something, whether it was doing whatever, but was exposed to it at a pretty young age. And, he'd kick me $20 here and there for helping out, but it was more of a, learning bonding type experience. But, just really fell in love with that, man. I think that's why now, like, I'm not afraid to take anything apart. I know that somebody put that vehicle together, so it comes apart. You just got to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, you don't want any extra bolts at the end of that job, or
nope, that's bad. Or when you close the door and you hear something rattling, that's not good either. That's not good. So what the fuck is that?
Yeah. That's fucking that's kind of stereotypical for me being Portuguese. It's always, you put the shelf together, you got a couple extra screws and a couple extra fucking bolts. You're like, I think it'll be fine. Yeah,
it's fine.
It could fucking hold solid. Those plates and that vase, and it ain't gonna go nowhere. Don't worry about it. Yeah. You know what I mean?
The only reason they give you those is in case you lose one. Those are supposed to be extra.
Yeah, we just didn't count them. That's fine. We're good.
Yeah,
we're good. That's funny. I like that. I'm going to use that next time. They gave me extras. See?
That's how it works, man. It's just like when you buy a nice new shirt and they got that button that's sewn inside just in case you lose one. That's where that came from.
Fucking smart, dude. Fucking smart. I used to work in a I don't know if they had this. Well, they probably do. I mean, you probably shop at the mall, but they had this store called Express for Men. And
yeah.
I think they changed it to just, it was called Structure before, back in the day. And then Express Women bought them out, and they just made it, men's and women's clothing, and they just called it Express. So I was a manager there, and, you'd have to dress up and wear the clothes, and, it's fancy shit. It's button-up shirts and nice fucking $80 jeans and all this bullshit. So I never like, wearing college shirts was never my thing. I always kind of hated it, but the fucking little things to pop the collars, like straight, the little plastic pieces, I never knew what the fuck they were for, dude. So I'd fucking go, I'd dry them, they'd get all fucked up, and then all of a sudden my collars were all fucking mushy, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't even know how the fuck we got on the subject, to be quite honest with you. I have no idea where I was going with this.
No worries.
But it had something to do with the shirts and knowledge and finding stupid things out, I think.
Somewhere along that line.
So I was going somewhere with it. I don't know what. I'm getting towards the end of my coffee, so my fucking mindset for the day is probably dwindling.
Right, yep. I hear you. It tends to get foggier in the evenings.
Yeah, it does. It does. But you still got, it's what, 7?
It's only 6:30 here, man.
Yeah, dude, you're ready to pounce a couple beers and hang out.
Right.
Me, I'm ready to hit the fucking sack.
I think after we get off the phone, I'm going to start cramming some Rap Institute videos and get caught up. I've been neglecting them for the past couple months. I need to get back into it.
There you go. Do you resort to the Rap Institute for a lot of your knowledge and things to do?
More recently, I do. And that was, I don't know, probably about a year ago. I guess a little bit back further than that, maybe like 3-4 years ago, Justin came out with that first set of DVDs.
Yep.
Before the Rap Institute was around. And I watched those DVDs. The shop that I most recently left supplied me with them and took them home and watched them. I was like, that's pretty cool. This guy kind of seems like he knows what he's doing, but whatever. I've been doing this for a few years. I'll figure it out.
Right.
And, as materials change, as vehicles get more complex and everything, you can't keep doing the same thing and expect it to work. You have to learn new things.
Right.
And, I'd see stuff on the Rap Institute and it's always like, man, I don't want to pay for a subscription. That shit's expensive, to just watch videos for people how to do this. But, once I got into it, it's like, wow, this is the way. And just Justin's techniques and how he approaches things and his problem solving opened up it was like someone flipped a switch in my brain on how to install vinyl. Mm-hmm. Is that, if I get in a pinch and I'm getting frustrated, there's a reason for that. If I'm working on something and it's not going the way I want it to, there's a reason for that. It doesn't just happen.
Right.
So, there's kind of a more analytical way of thinking about how you're approaching a vehicle. And his system is a lot of the basis behind it is that it's repeatable and it's efficient.
Right. And
that's what a lot of people are looking for is, want consistent work and I want high quality.
Yeah, man, he is definitely how can I put it? In our terms, maybe I'd hate to use them as the Miyagi of the industry because
he's already around.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I get what you're saying. He's the rap sensei.
Yeah, he's the rap sensei, dude. He's giving out the tips and tricks because he's been there. He looks at things differently than we do because when you're in it and you're stuck with the problem, you have to problem solve. He actually looks for those types of things and tries to find a way out of them and then shares it.
And that's the sharing part.
Huge.
That is what is extremely important because a man of his caliber for installing skills, the older guys in the industry, when I was working at the sign shop,
tell me.
Sign shops didn't talk to each other.
Fuck no.
You say, hey, can I get a file?
Nope.
You get no reply in the email. You get a nothing. So, okay, well, I guess they're not going to help. So I guess we'll figure it out.
Yeah. You call them. Hey, I sent you an email. Oh, I never got it. Send it again. Oh, I never got, bullshit.
Yeah, still didn't get it. Yeah. I know there's 5 copies of it sitting in your inbox and you're sitting there with a shit-eating grin on your face because you know you're not going to help me. I know that. But yeah, with Justin, I mean, he could have used his powers for good or he could have used his powers for evil. And thank God he used his powers for good. And he is really, I mean, he's the main driving force behind my installing right now. Just that being able to share and learn is so key.
Oh, it's huge. It's nothing like the sign industry. It's the sense of camaraderie and networking and it just I think it might just be the times of where
it could be
what we're doing and what we're in and maybe it has something to do with social media. Maybe it has something to do with
it makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, the accessibility of finding knowledge and finding information. It was the right place at the right time, and he found himself a great opportunity to be the front runner for the industry for information and resource. Fuck, I mean, none of us had that shit back in the day.
No, it wasn't there. You sank or you swam, and that was that.
Yeah, there was only Signs 101.
Okay, yeah, like the
Remember
forum,
that?
right?
Yeah,
Forums, yeah.
that was what was the source of information. You needed to find something, like you'd go on there and find it. You know?
Yeah, hopefully somebody's done it before and they can tell me how to do it.
Yeah, or you're writing a blog and you're hoping you get an answer within a day or two. You know what I mean? It's especially when you're stuck in a pinch and you're trying to find out information. It's like, oh fuck, somebody going to answer my question anytime soon? And,
exactly. Like I got this client's calling me. I need to get this shit figured out.
yeah,
now.
it's like fucking refresh.
Yep.
How many people looked at it? Someone commenting? It's like, that was the shit back then. Like that, I was religiously, that was the first website I'd be putting on first thing in the morning.
Yep. See what's new.
Yeah, absolutely. There's absolutely somebody on there that's been through some shit that you're going through and has an answer for it.
Yes, exactly. And with Justin and the Rap Institute too. I mean, it's one thing watching the videos online, but I took the Avery's color change workshop and took the certification test. And when Justin in person, he gets down to business.
Yeah,
you know, he tells you what you need to know, and we're going to bust ass and we're going to get this done. I mean, I had kind of an initial impression from watching the videos, which, you know, still the same guy, but when you're there working with him, it's go time.
Oh, it's business. It's all business.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's, yeah, you can have fun afterwards, but right now this is what we're doing.
I mean, he's got a strict regimen on what he needs to accomplish per day, you know, how everything's going to go down. He's very, you know, outside of that, which I got to host one of the Avery classes at my shop at the time.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That was super cool. It was irony at its greatest because the week after he was there, I was thrown in the towel. It was like literally meeting the god of the industry that I always wanted to meet, and then the irony was I was closing in a week. Like, that's it.
Damn.
It was crazy. It was insane. But did you end up doing certification test after that, or?
Yes. Yeah, I went through the color change workshop, and that was the 2 days, and the certification was the day after that.
Yeah.
And that was also kind of another reason I left the shop that I was working at before, is that they had paid for me to go down and take the class, the color change workshop. And then I started snooping around and I saw that they were having the certification the next day. And I kind of thought, like, you know, for me to progress as an installer, I think this is kind of the next step for me, is I know I can rap, I know I can install vinyl, but does everybody else know that I can do that? Right. Is it going to be recognized by anybody? And I know it's just a piece of paper and it might not mean a whole lot, but for me personally, that was my next step for what I wanted to accomplish. And so I paid for the class, or I paid for the certification test myself. The company didn't want to pay for it, and went down and I didn't pass. I aced the written part. I didn't miss a single question on the written. Did okay on the hood, did okay on the fender, and I got to the door section and just lost it. Got flustered. I knew my time was running out, and even up to taking that test, I wasn't sure if I was ready to take it yet. But I figured, hey, I might as well give it a shot and see what happens. And I did that, and it was a pretty humbling experience, to be quite honest with you. Yeah. And it lets you know where you're at, and it lets you know what you need to do to improve. Right. Don't walk in thinking that you're hot shit and that you're better than everyone, because that test will tell you otherwise in a very quick fashion. Yeah. Yeah. You know?
You get humbled real fast.
Exactly. And especially, you know, me not being 100% sure of my skill level, but then the head honcho is the guy that's watching you and grading you. It's pressure, man. And it's pressure that you're going to run into in jobs. You have to learn how to deal with that. And, I went through, thought I did okay, and got to the door section, was just running out of time. And, Justin comes up and taps me on the shoulder and he goes, you're out of time. And I go, yeah. And he looks at what I did and he goes, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to pass you. And right as soon as he said that, I could feel that lump rising up in my throat. It's just like, man, and I closed my eyes and kind of thought about it, and he shook his hand and I said, I understand. Thanked him up and down for everything that he did. But, that was a hit for me. It really was. You know, because up until that point, I thought that, you know, I can do it all. I can do this. I can do that. But I can't. Not yet.
Yeah. I think when you hold, you know, you shouldn't hold that pressure too tightly for yourself because, you know,
Right.
at the end of the day, you can still do your job. The only thing that's tough is that you have to, you know, the pressure of knowing you're at a time restraint on different locations and you have to be able to execute it at a high level. And it's not always the case when you're doing it back at home. You know,
exactly. It's not,
you know,
it's
you
not
got
that
all
high
day.
pressure.
Yeah. You know, you have all day to fucking bang out this van. It's, you know, okay, you know, I've done enough of these. I can bang it out in 8 hours. I got 8 hours on this. I'm good. You know what I mean?
I'm set. I got enough time to do it.
And it's not like you don't know how to do it. It's just you're a little bit more precise. You take your time, and when you're there and you're in it, you know, it's a lot of pressure because one, you're investing in yourself. You're putting money. You're betting on yourself. You're putting all your chips in at one time to pass this test. And to be quite honest with you, if I was to go in there and take the test and do the training class in the beginning, just a refresher, I wouldn't be able to pass it. No fucking way I would. There's
right.
And if I did, I would pass by the skin of my teeth.
Right. Yeah. And
Easy.
and I understand, you know, why they have this system, the test set up the way they do.
Mm-hmm.
And I completely agree with it. If you're going to be representing Avery Dennison, you need to be able to rap like Avery Dennison.
Right.
But, you know, there's guys out there that are incredible installers. They don't have a certification. They don't need a certification.
Right.
But if you want to perform at that level and be recognized by the big companies in the industry, this is the way it has to go.
Right.
And I agree with that wholeheartedly, you know, and the time thing is like, can you wrap a hood flawlessly? Yes, I can. Can you wrap a hood flawlessly in 20 minutes? Maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Without seeing the vehicle ahead of time, without being able to do anything except showing up on that day and like, here, do this hood in 20 minutes, go.
Right.
And,
it's a lot of variables.
There is. And you need to have your, whatever install techniques you have, you need to have them on the tip of your fingers without having to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to blast through it, and your body has to be able to do stuff without you constantly thinking about everything you're doing. And that it all comes down to experience. Just squeegee time, just time behind the squeegee. And that's what Justin said too. He said, you know, your techniques are fine. You're solid on your techniques. You understand the concepts of everything, but you need to manage your time better. You need to get your workflow down. You need to not be crossing your arms. You need to work more fluidly and bang, 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 done. And the only way you can do that is with practice. No one can teach you that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they say what is it? You have to do what you do for over 10,000 hours to master it, or whatever the case may be.
Oh yeah, to get that muscle memory to where it's just it's instinct. You don't have to think about it. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, you know, figure the time frame. I mean, you probably work 8 hours a day, normal, 5 days a week. That's 40 hours. You know, do the math. 10,000 hours. That's a lot of fucking years.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of hard concentration, and that's a lot of mistakes. That's a lot of heartache. That's a lot of stress. I mean, it's a lot of everything.
Yeah, every day, every single day, and going back to what we talked about earlier. When you take a 3-month hiatus, a 3-year hiatus, that shit does not come back to you like riding a bike.
No, it doesn't. You got to be in it. And what really drives me too is that I am passionate about installing. I get so much satisfaction from doing that. Like once I have my belt clipped on and I slide my glove on, I feel like fucking Superman, you know, it's like I can conquer anything. It's like, you know, I know that's me. I know that's what I want to do. I get satisfaction out of it beyond anything else I can even describe.
Yeah.
And even though I didn't pass that certification, I'm going to be getting that certification coming up. That's my goal. I'm going to be getting it.
That's it. It's setting the goal. And honestly, that's going to be the wave of the future. That's going to be the regulations for this industry. You know, are you certified or are you not certified? It's gonna come down to the heavy hitters that are gonna get these big jobs moving forward. You know, do you want to get those bids in for the 100, 800, vehicle fleets? You know, you're not going to get that not being certified.
No, and even for the smaller shops, I mean, like as industry progresses and the whole wrapping things becomes more popular, more understood by the public, they're going to be wanting those certifications.
Oh,
would you rather take your car to an ASE certified mechanic or Joe Schmo down the street who probably does pretty good work?
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. That those old school guys know their shit and not be certified.
Right.
But at the same time, when you're trying to do comparisons and shit like that, I mean, you're going to do your research. You're going to be like, okay, who's really invested in themselves in order to get to where they are, Right.
And with the availability of information as easy it is to access now,
right? Instead
of relying on a referral, you pull up their page on Google, you read all the reviews, you see where they're ranked with all the other shops and stuff. And it sucks that it's, that's how it is, but that's how it is. That's how it's going to,
right.
Yeah. And I'm guilty. I do the same thing. If I'm looking for a place to eat, I'm not going to go to the place with 2 stars that has shitty reviews.
Yeah.
Even though they might have just had an off night.
Right. I mean, like I said, you have to be at your game, the top of the top. Like, this is like Super Bowl day. You need to be playing at your highest level on that day. You only have to do it once on that day perfectly. Like,
yep.
After that, you do what you want. I mean, obviously you want to keep that momentum going. You want to be that perfect person. And, a great thing that I saw from, John Duver, this week. I don't know if it was yesterday. I watched it on the way home. It was on his stories where he said, the podcast.
The brick thing?
Yeah. He asked one guy, he goes, what are you doing? He's like, I'm making $10 an hour. He asked another guy, he's like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm building this, or laying down bricks. And the other guy said, I'm building the fucking empire or whatever it is. Like,
he said, I'm building a cathedral.
Cathedral. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? And then the next story was like, you think about your next rap and blah, 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 blah. And think about, are you making $10 an hour? Are you just doing what you're doing, or are you working at your highest level every day to build an industry or build a product moving forward, blah, blah, blah. And now, dude, and then it cut down 100%. And I was like, holy shit. John Duver just dropped fucking knowledge on everybody right now.
He's good at that, man. That's his thing.
Dude, he is such a great motivational speaker, man.
Oh, man.
He says so much, but yet says so little. It's fucking crazy.
He says enough to get you thinking, and that's all that he needs to say.
Dude, he had me thinking the whole fucking ride home.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, holy shit. Like, that is our industry to a T. Like,
yes, 100% agreed.
That's fucking what everybody strives to be at that level. Like, holy shit. It honestly, I was taken back by it. I was like, holy shit. Like,
I gotta reassess some things here. Maybe.
Absolutely. Absolutely, dude. It made me think that I've been doing it fucking wrong. For so fucking long. I just, sometimes you get stuck with just going through the motions and you're just in it and you gotta go through it and you get it done. You're fucking this, you're fucking that. And it is what it is. And
right.
Just the passionate person that, gets in it and it's just like smiling the whole time and fucking, excited about it and can't wait till the finished product. And it's like, sometimes we don't think about that shit. We don't acknowledge that shit towards the end. It's like, we just go through the motions, and when it's done, it's another job. It's another client. No problem.
Exactly.
On to the next.
I've run into that.
Yeah.
We all have. You're doing fleet work or something. Like the shop that I was working for before did all of the county sheriff vehicles. So I have every Lynn County Sheriff car you see driving around, I put the Grafx on it.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where I don't need to look at my sheet to know the measurements. I already know all the measurements where everything needs to go because I've done them so many times.
Right.
And, grinding them out and stuff. And even other smaller fleet jobs like that. It's like, whatever, it's done. I got paid. Whatever, get it out of here. I'm done for the day. But then I go back and look at my pictures on my phone that I took. And I'm like, holy shit, I fucking killed that.
Mm-hmm.
I killed it. I did so damn good. And I'm not giving myself enough credit for that. And you need to.
Yeah. I think there's a fine line of tooting your own horn and then being, I don't know, maybe at Alex Thomas's fucking level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Love the guy to death, but he is like on a whole nother level.
Oh, yeah. If it works for him, then by all means, go right ahead.
Go right ahead. Hey,
but
I'm not going to rain on his parade.
No. If you're doing your thing, do your thing.
Yeah.
But I heard a quote a while ago. I don't remember where I saw it. I probably read it somewhere online, but it said, work in silence and let your work be your voice.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how I am when I'm working on something. I'm focused. I'm grinding. I'm not saying, hey, look at this. Look what I did. Look what I did.
Right.
I get it done. And if somebody says it looks good, I say thank you.
That's it. And you move on.
Yeah.
That's it. That's fucking awesome, dude. Awesome. All right. We're creeping on a little over 2 hours here. I know we're getting towards the end. Is there anything else that you might want to bring up that we didn't talk about during our convo?
One quick little anecdote about the wrapping the doors on the cop cars in my first shop that I was working at.
Yeah.
I'd mentioned how I got that job is I got in some legal trouble, ended up getting arrested. And, actually, I mean, it was pretty bad. Nothing violent, but I had a gun drawn on me when I had arrested. I had a pistol in the center of my back saying, don't move, put your hands behind your back kind of thing. And, got through that, got out of jail, started working at that place, and we started doing the cop cars. And as an installer, I had to shuttle the cars back and forth from the police station to the sign shop, which was only about a block and a half away, really close. But I got a couple cars done, and the boss had shuttled them over there. It was getting towards the end of the day, and he goes, why don't you go ahead and run this one over there? I'll give him a call and let you know that you're coming over. Okay, so get in the car, go and pull over to a roll-up door that they have to buzz from the inside.
Right. And
they buzz it from the inside, and as the door comes up, dude that's standing there to let me in is the same exact officer that arrested me 2 years ago.
Get the fuck out of
I
here.
swear to fucking God. Same identical dude that had the gun to my back and told me to put my hands behind my back. And here I am sitting in his car, and he's letting me in his building. and it took, and there was that brief,
oh shit,
he recognized
moment.
me. I recognize him, and he looks at me and he goes, "How's it going, Logan?" And I go, "Well, it's going a lot better than it was 2 years ago. I'll tell you that."
Yeah. At least I'm in the front seat.
Yeah, I'm in the front seat. I got the keys. I got the keys this time, man.
Oh shit.
But yeah, life, man. There's things come around full circle and little stuff like that. I look back and it's like, man, I used to be a little shit, but I'm glad I got straightened out. And, that was a pretty good sign of that right there. It's like, 2 years ago I was in the back of this car and now I'm delivering the car to you.
Right.
And I'm getting paid for it. So that was kind of a crazy little trip story.
Oh, that's amazing, man.
But yeah.
You know what? It's those little moments in life little snippets that you take and you kind of store them back in the back of your mind. And when you see certain things and you chuckle to yourself because no one could ever take that away from you. That's going to be a memory you're going to take all the way to your grave. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
No one's ever gonna remember that other than you, and the irony in that, man, it's just,
Oh yeah. That was, and side note to that too, is that cop wasn't really necessarily the greatest cop. Shortly after that, he got demoted because he was taking some stuff from the evidence room and not really telling people about it. So.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And yeah, small town police department, there's probably going to be a few a few not so good guys in there, but just like how you see, you're not better than everyone, and that's why.
Yeah. It's karma.
Yeah, it will come back and bite you in the ass for sure.
It never loses addresses.
Nope.
Always. No matter how many times you move and where you go, and it will catch up to you, man. That's one thing I preach very religiously is never do bad to anybody, because that shit will come back tenfold.
Oh yeah, it will. And and along the same lines of karma is the word luck. I hear from where I was 10 years ago, I didn't think I'd make it to 30, honestly.
Really?
I thought I'd either be dead, I'd be in prison, I don't know. I didn't really have a whole lot of direction. I just thought, fuck it. I'm just going to do whatever, and whatever happens, happens.
Damn, dude, what are you, fucking gangbanging over there in Oregon?
No. Oh, no. Nothing like that. Just, we could get into it a little bit off air, and I could explain I got some stories, man. I definitely got some stories, but, I went from that. I mean, it got to the point where I wasn't allowed at my parents' house anymore. A lot of people disowned me and was kind of like, whatever, Logan's fucking off doing whatever. But I've gone from that to, I have a beautiful wife, a beautiful daughter. We each drive brand new cars, got a nice house, not stressing on bills. And I keep hearing people say, you're lucky, man. You're lucky you got this. You're lucky you did that. And I said, luck has nothing to do with it at all. I think I heard another quote a while ago is that, I don't believe in luck. I think what people call luck is when preparation and opportunity meet. So
I like that.
Throughout life, there's opportunities left and right. There's always opportunities for stuff. And if you're prepared to grasp that opportunity when it comes along, then you take it and run with it.
It's up to you.
Yeah, exactly. If you're,
right.
You get your head straight and figure out what you want in life and get yourself prepared for it. And when opportunity comes knocking, you can open the door before they even knock.
Yeah. And it's up to you to walk through it or just fucking close it.
Exactly. I mean, I don't want to say everything happens for a reason kind of thing, but what a lot of people call luck isn't really luck. I mean, people were presented with an opportunity and they were in the position where they could take a hold of that opportunity and go with it, to where if they wouldn't have been prepared, they wouldn't have taken that opportunity.
Right.
So that's just my view. That's my view on it.
I like it, dude. I'm into it, man. I believe me, I've been knocked down more times than I could even say, dude. And I'm still here. I'm fucking kicking.
Yep.
I'm fucking going after it. I'm doing it, starting over and all that jazz. So, I'm a true testament to that stuff. And,
100%, man. And there's the only way you can't change something is if you're dead.
Right.
If you're still up and kicking and breathing and you're not happy with something, then change it.
Right.
It sounds simple. It's not always so simple to act out, but that's what the truth is, man. There's options and there's things you can do.
Amazing, dude. Well, no better way to end the podcast with that note, man. Jesus. Yeah. Woo, I love ending on positive notes and
that's what it's all about, man.
And quotes and knowledge. Fuck. Put me
stuff to keep you awake at night, even though you should be going to sleep right now, Jeff.
Exactly. Exactly. Now you got my mind racing about certain things like, how many doors opened for me today that I didn't fucking walk through?
Mm-hmm.
You
never know, man. It's always right around the corner.
Sometimes it's only that one door that you need to walk through that will change your life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it might, it kind of seems random, but that's how life is,
That's it.
That's how it goes.
That's it. Well, awesome. Logan, it's been an absolute pleasure, brother. Thank you.
Yeah, you too. I want to thank you up and down. I feel so honored to be able to speak with you and be a part of the show. It means a lot to me. It really does.
Dude, you were just amazing. And I should have brought this up earlier, but I know I reposted the DM, which I probably should have asked you before, but I thought it was such a cool,
I don't care.
A cool DM you sent me, man, when you said, you know, thank you so much for doing what you do. And then you were like F-bombing it. And I was like, dude, this dude's all about the podcast. This is fucking.
Yeah, this guy knows what's up.
You made my day, bro. Honestly, you made my day on writing that. And
awesome. Glad to hear that.
I had to share it. It's just, it just solidifies a little bit of, the time well spent throughout the week talking to everybody and hoping that everybody gets little nuggets out of each and every episode of knowledge and some type of
100%,
experience out of it. You know what I mean? To help them through their day in and day out life or business,
That's what we're here for. That's what we're all here for. Yeah.
That's it, man. And I appreciate you listening every week and being a supporter of the podcast and
absolutely. I'm working on getting caught up in all the back episodes. I'm grinding. I always got my AirPods in.
Yeah, so. Definitely. It's ironic when you start hearing them backwards, how the quality changes and the conversations get weirder because I'm just trying to find my way through the conversation. And, the ones above maybe 20, 25 I start finding my groove, but man, those first 10 were tough.
Yeah, you're sitting there sweating like, man, I got to keep talking. I got to keep doing something.
Yeah, well,
we're recording something right now.
Yeah, it was really robotic. It's the worksheet full of questions that I had to get through, and now it's just I don't even write anything down. I just let it go. Whatever we talk about is whatever we talk about.
Exactly, and that's when we first kind of set up to get this episode going. I was thinking, I'm going to take notes. I want to talk about this, and that, but I've just been sitting here with a glass of water bullshitting with a fellow guy in the industry, and that's the way it should be, man. I like it.
That's the way it should be. Exactly. Awesome, dude. Well, Logan, absolute pleasure, brother. Let everybody know where they can find you on social media or website or any other avenue you got.
Yeah, so I only use Instagram. I deleted my Facebook a while ago after all that privacy shenanigans, even though Instagram's owned by Facebook, so it's really probably not that big of a hit. But yeah, Instagram is where I'm active. The name is hallowed.esc, and that's HALLOWED.ESC. Or you can just search for my name, Logan Moore. Should come up. But that's where I'll be, and I'm going to start posting a lot more too, since I'm going to be starting for this new shop here in a couple days. I should be starting to put out some good quality content and stuff for people to take a peek at. And if anyone that's listening wants to reach out to me for any questions, help, whatever, feel free. I'm here to help, and I would love to talk to absolutely everybody and anybody.
Awesome, dude.
So, yeah.
Sweet. Logan, absolute pleasure, brother. I wish you well for the rest of 2019, man.
All right. You agreed? You too, man.
What's up, folks? Hope everyone enjoyed this episode. Thank you to everyone that tuned in, and thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to IBOW Training, offering a variety of training options such as training at your shop, group training classes nationwide, and even private design print profile training through remote login. Learn more about IBOW at ibowtraining.com. Thank you also to We Print Wraps, the industry's #1 source for wholesale printed wraps, offering free nationwide shipping across the U.S. and Canada on all orders over $500. And don't forget, exclusive listeners of this podcast save 5% on your next order when you use promo code ALLWRAPPEDUP at checkout. See why industry pros love them and visit WePrintWraps.com. Till next time, folks, that's a wrap.